All right. Frick this. This is ridiculous. I know now it's all working now. Never seen that happen before. This stream is already just having a hard day, isn't it? All right. This is ridiculous. It's like every time it doesn't work, everything goes wrong. Everything went wrong this morning on this stream. All right. Other mic is muted. This mic's on. Welcome to hell. All right. Now we can go. We're ready to go. First of all, we're starting off with Michael Douglas, and then we're going to be jumping to me. And so that is the next two that we're going to be on. These are pretty much back to back. Like I said, we went from doing the days to where now it's not going to work for the days because each one of those days is really, really, really long. So we're jumping around a little bit. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Everything was going wrong on our tech side. It wasn't working, period. I don't know how we got it to work. I know everybody's laughing because I'm wearing my green hat and it's got, now you can look, if I go right here, you'll see there's Lindsay and then who else is in there? Yeah, it's a little see-through. You like that? You guys are awesome. Thank you for being patient. When things go wrong over here, they just go wrong, and I just accept it. I just accept that it's all silliness. So, let's go. What's up, everybody? Thank you for the patience. We will work on that. I've never had that happen before. Let me know if the volume's good. We've got ourselves going at a little bit faster speed. Make sure everything's good. Playback speed is not going to be normal. We're going to put it on 1.25, and I'm going to give you these subtitles. Let me know if it's good. This is about an hour 30, and then mine was only 45 minutes. So we'll get into both today.
I'd like to inquire, you may.
Thank you. And before I do, can I just verify with the court that State's Exhibit 77 has been admitted?
Yes. Yes.
Colby has an
Okay,
open mind.
Mr. Douglas, can you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Michael Douglas, Douglass.
What is your occupation?
I'm a forensic accountant,
And who do you work for?
the FBI or the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
How long have you worked for the FBI?
Nearly 7 years. I'm close enough.
And what work did you do before that?
I was a tax and fraud auditor for the State Tax Commission for 4 years.
Is there a title beyond forensic accountant that we should call you, or is Mr. Douglas okay?
Mr. Douglas is fine.
Okay. And
I can go change my hat just so my mind isn't like or my hat isn't see-through, but I'm worried because I'm wearing green pants for the first time. I'm wearing green pants, so if I stand up, it's just gonna be transparent. You guys are gonna laugh. I'm doing it. I'm gonna
what
go get a
does
different hat.
tell me what a forensic accountant does?
Because freaking
In some, we review electronic and financial data, create a financial analysis, provide this information to the investigative team, discuss this with prosecutors, hold interviews with subjects and witnesses, and testify to our findings.
Right. And when you do a forensic accounting, do you just look at bank accounts, financial records? Do you take other, well, I'll just ask it like that. Do you only look at bank accounts and financial records?
No.
What else do you do?
Individual search history usually provides additional data where they might be banking at. So search history is one. Apps that they have on their phone would be another. So in some electronic data, as well as the financials, provide us additional information where to search records.
Right. And in terms of your investigation overall, do you look at an investigation as a whole when you're doing a forensic accounting to see how the finances might affect other events?
We do, yes.
How did you become involved in the case regarding Mr. Daybell?
My office had been involved with the investigation for a few months before I was inquired to be upon the investigation or in the investigation. I was told that there was a voluminous amount of financial records and requests that had gone out and sought out to review that information.
And so tell us about some of the work you did. How did you get started? What What did you do first?
A lot of the work had been done for me before I got on. The PD had sent out multiple search warrants and subpoenas for the financial records, some travel information. And then when I was brought on around March of 2020, a lot of the records were starting to come in and started reviewing just as it trickled in and built a large spreadsheet of whose account, whose transactions these were, what bank they were affiliated with. And it got to the tune of nearly 80 bank accounts and credit cards.
80
Alright.
bank accounts? This has to be everybody, right? 80 bank accounts. Bro, 80 freaking bank accounts is ridiculous. Even between 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like at the most maybe 7 people. And 80 bank accounts is crazy. 80?
And you said the PD. Can you tell the jury
Sorry.
what the PD is?
The Rexburg Police Department. Sorry.
And so you worked for the FBI, but you worked with the Rexburg Police Department at some level in this case.
I did.
All right. And I'm sorry, you said approximately 80 accounts were looked at.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that can I have the witness be handed State's Exhibit 111? Detective, is part of, well, I'll wait till you get that. Are you familiar with State's Exhibit 111?
I am.
What does it purport to be?
This is a timeline that I created regarding Tylee's bank account records, including her JP Morgan Chase account and her BBVA, or as I also call it, her Compass account, and the transactions that took place monthly in each.
Is the full name of BBVA Compass?
It's a Southern bank, but yeah, BBVA Compass is the full.
And so, as part of your investigation, did you do a review of Tylee's finances?
I did.
And what did that entail?
So with Tylee's, originally we had a much smaller, we had to send a supplemental request to get the full data. Tylee was a minor, so she had a bank account with her mother, Lori. And this included what will be noted as in blue as the JP Morgan Chase account, 3918 deposits. Tylee was receiving Social Security, as I'll discuss later, from the death of her father, Joe Ryan. And these deposits, that's what the blue indicates. The orange is indicative of the transactions that were taking place in this account. And then Lori and Tylee.
And just so you guys are aware, real quick, 2 things. One, everyone, I don't know what YouTube's doing, but they kind of switched their platform to a sense of where your name is at your @. So now whatever your name of your actual name is, not your screen name, there's differences. Kelsey was telling me this earlier. It will put that. So if you need to go in and change that in any way, shape, or form, you can look that up. Maybe someone in the chat can explain it. Because when I see it, it'll say like Ray's the other day had a bunch of numbers. It didn't say Ray like it used to, because now YouTube's doing this thing where it's like at your @. I don't know why, but it's different. And then lastly, you have a few more days. It is the 8th. We have a few more days before the giveaway. So please go enter the giveaway. For members, you have a giveaway and you have an opportunity to win over on the normal community tab. So just reminding you that. And so you know, if you need to go change your guys' handles and you want it to be your name, it will be that, because right now it shows whatever you created your account as.
Opened Tylee's BBVA Compass account ending 5794. The deposits that go into this, I'll explain later. These come from an account that Lori had with BBVA. And then the withdrawals will be noted in red of the transactions that took place starting in August and in March of 2020.
And so on State's Exhibit 111, is this a document you created?
Yes,
And is it is the purpose of this document to demonstrate the level of transactions in these accounts over a given period of time?
it is.
And did you prepare this
I did.
based on those bank accounts you just discussed?
Correct.
And did you do that in preparation for your testimony today?
I did.
Is it your belief that this would aid the jury in understanding the level of transactions over time in Tylee Ryan's bank accounts?
Yes,
And is this a true and accurate copy of what you created?
this is. Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that State's Exhibit 111 be admitted into evidence for demonstrative purposes.
For demonstrative purposes, there's no objection, Your Honor.
Very well. Exhibit 111 is admitted.
And may I publish?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Why do we have a shot of the screen now? Oh, for the reason that they're about to show us. Okay. Shut up, Colby. I know your guys' chats are in
And
front
Mr.
of me,
Douglas,
but
can you,
I can barely.
you kind of described it earlier, but can you walk us through how you created this document?
So the original data I took from the bank statements that came in from the bank, put that into an Excel spreadsheet, and then basically separated that data out monthly to show deposits and withdrawals that took place within the accounts, and over time, the change in the accounts specifically to August and September.
All right, and this graph represents the number of transactions, correct?
Correct.
Not a dollar amount.
No.
So what did you learn in your investigation as you put this together?
So first, I would like to say Tylee was very responsible with her money. I never saw a negative balance in her account, but this includes the deposits that were coming into her account, specifically from the money she was receiving from Social Security. And then as noted in orange, these were the monthly transactions, basically what I'll refer to as brick and mortar, as well as her electronic. She had electronic payments for her Apple account, her T-Mobile, as well as her Jeep that I'll discuss later.
And so
And guess what we're going to do today? We're going to go over all of these things that people have said about Tylee sending money. It's going to come out here, and it's going to come out in my testimony, and we're going to get into it because there's been so many weird things and rumors and people saying I got paid off and all this stupid shit, and that's just what it is. It's stupid shit that's come out of people's mouths. We'll go over it, and I can explain everything because I have no problem telling you what it was, and that's what it is. So just letting you know.
on that graph, on August of 2019 to September of 2019, it appears there's a change in the number of transactions. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And why was that important to you in your investigation?
So Tylee had her JP Morgan account, as did her mother, Lori, had multiple JP Morgan accounts. Tylee was making her payments on time. And
Wait. So Tylee's, okay, so it's a high school account, if you guys don't know. The Chase account that I had growing up too, from when I was like, I want to say 15 or 16, you get this like high school account that's attached to your parents' account. So that way, if you need money, they initially just put that money in and it can get transferred back and forth. So it sounds like Tylee was having her Social Security put into the account shared with Lori, which means Lori could pull that money into her own account or vice versa, put money into the account. I thought maybe it was a separate account, the BBVA account that Tylee was getting her money into.
had no reason for the change in her financial status. As I'll describe later, Tylee's Social Security payments get transferred from her JP Morgan account to her mother's BBVA account, her mother being Lori.
Wow. So Lori pulled the balance coming in. Okay, mind you, I'm going to put this into context because this is how actually sick this is. She unalives Tylee. Doesn't even care at all. Tylee gets a certain amount sent to her per month, and Lori pulls that into her Chase account and then sends it over or from Tylee's account and gets that money that's sent in for Joe dying as Social Security for her to put that money into her own BBVA account, Lori. So she had access to it because it was going directly into an account she was attached to. I never knew that.
To which it stays that way, like it never transfers back. This information in August shows that Tylee opens a BBVA Compass account, but the money that goes into it is transferred to her from Lori. Again, she doesn't ever get the money directly. I will also note that we'll discuss later that she had a job working for her uncle, Jeff Shiflett, Dr. Shiflett at J&S Investments too.
Right, and does that account for some of the deposits?
Yes, earlier in the beginning of 2019.
And again, just to clarify, those numbers just represent transaction numbers, not dollar amounts.
Correct.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness...
but Tylee worked and she wanted to, and it's not like Tylee was lazy or anything. She went and got a job and she was making money until she got thrown into hell in a tornado.
Be handed what's been marked as State's Exhibit 112.
Judge, could we approach briefly?
Yes.
Skip it.
Was the co-signer on, and they co-signed on this Jeep April 17th of 2019. And Tylee started making those payments June 3rd of 2019. And then as noted below, in July 11th of 2019, this is when Charles Vallow signed.
Right, and Charles Vallow was Tylee's stepfather,
Correct.
and this is still the same timeline, correct?
This is the same timeline.
Can you tell us about the first couple of boxes?
So I was given this information that through Lori's iCloud account that July 18th of 2019, Lori had texted Chad that she would not be receiving life insurance money regarding the death of Charles Vallow, but she would be receiving $4,000 a month Social Security.
By the way, not
July-
44, because it says 44 on the screen.
July 24th of 19, this is the last Social Security payment deposited into Tylee's JP Morgan Chase account, ending 39/18.
Okay. It looks like on 8/12/19, this is kind of a different subject. What happened there?
So we found out that Lori had a life insurance policy in her name to the tune of $2 million. And there was a change made on this life insurance policy, making Colby Ryan, Tylee's older brother, the sole beneficiary or 100% beneficiary.
That's
So she didn't
wild.
include-
Because I never knew that. When you discuss that in any way, shape, or form with your oldest son, who's an adult, who has a child, that you are making me the beneficiary. And the only reason she'd make me the beneficiary is what we talked about when I was a teenager, was so I could take care of the kids if anything happened to them. That was the whole reason that I should be that, because I'm the oldest son. So I would get that money so that way I could take care of the children. Hence why Tylee was getting Social Security money for her life to survive. Not for Lori, so she could go spend it on herself and Chad Daybell and whoever else she was paying for, because I still am baffled by all the flights and the hotels and how much money was being spent on a daily basis. I still don't understand that. All of this money is insane. How much was spent in a very short amount of time.
JJ or Tylee on that?
They weren't included, no.
All right. Your Honor, the court had asked us to stop at 2:20.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wood.
All right, Mr. Douglas, I believe when we left off, we talked about the box marked 8/12/2019.
That's correct.
Tell us about the next couple of boxes in your timeline.
No, what happened was Lori, I guess after Charles, Lori went in and changed her beneficiary for $2 million. Charles had $1 million life insurance. Lori had a $2 million life insurance. She went in and changed the beneficiary to solely to me. I don't know if it was to Charles. I don't know what it was before, but she went in and changed it to me, never saying a word about that, by the way.
So on August 14th of 2019, Lori applied for her Rexburg apartment, and on the application, she stated that she was receiving $5,740 Social Security due to a dead husband. 2 days later, August 16th of 2019, Tylee's Social Security payments received a change to be deposited into Lori's BBVA account ending 3229. On August 19th of 2019, Lori and Tylee opened Tylee's BBVA account, which ends in the 5794.
And just really quickly, that is
Seeing that, the hard part for me watching these is accepting the premeditation. I don't know why it's harder when you realize how thought out it was, but it is. It makes it worse. It makes the information worse to know that she went in and specifically changed the account and made sure it went to herself and that she was going to give it to Tylee, as if Tylee wasn't responsible and more responsible financially than Lori was. Tylee was way more responsible, and it's proof you can go and see, as he just said.
a separate account than the sole BBVA account of Lori Vallow, correct?
Correct. Lori's ended in the 3229, Tylee's ended in the 5794.
Tell us about the box with under 8/28/2019.
So this is when Tylee's Social Security payments start being deposited into Lori's account ending 3229.
And what happened next?
Okay. And then as noted below, we have the move to Rexburg with Lori and the children. And then on September 8th of 2019, while Tylee received a text message from Colby. Colby was inquiring from Tylee for her to send him some money via Venmo. This was a regular occurrence. To which Tyler responded back that she couldn't Venmo him money because mom gets her money now.
Yeah, see, but
on
Lori
the
is
same
nuts
day-
because she told me that Tylee was the one that she would give Tylee money or pay her back. Very simply. It was that simple of a process. She said, if Tylee does have money and I don't, and you ask for money, then you can go to Tylee and either I'll give Tylee the money in her account and she'll do it, or Tylee will pay for it just for this 1 minute, and then I'm going to give Tylee back the money in some regard. So that was the deal. Very simple. And that's the point that's even worse, is that's the last thing I ever think I ever said to Tylee that I knew it was her was we had that conversation and I told her I loved her and she said, I love you too. And kiss something about like kiss Riley or hug Riley or something to that degree. And that was it. That was the end of our entire lives ended in that text because that was the night that they did it.
As I stated before, I don't just review financial records, we review electronic data as well. Noted that Chad had searched the wind direction in his search history, and this is also the same day as the last known sighting of Tylee Ryan.
What do you have on September 9th, 2019?
On September 9th, we discovered an email from Lori to her accountant that she had with her husband, Charles Vallow, gentleman by the name of Mike Edson. He was their tax accountant, and she was inquiring about a tax refund she hadn't received yet.
And the next day?
And then on the next day, on September 10th of 2019, Tylee's BBVA account is added as what's called a funding source to Venmo. In short, Venmo is a person-to-person transfer of funds to which you have to link your bank account or your credit card to it. Tylee's BBVA account had not yet been set up on her Venmo account. It was still would have been drawing out of any funds that were in the JP Morgan Chase account.
All right. And then what's marked for 9/20?
And then on 9/20, the data that was provided to us by JP Morgan, this is when Tylee's JP Morgan Chase account is completely closed and the remaining amount was withdrawn.
What the hell, bro? They did it in a matter of minutes and days because they knew what they were going to do. That's the hard part, is accepting how premeditated all these murders are. It's so premeditated. They didn't care at all. I mean, it's not just heartless. It's like it didn't even affect her at all. There's no effect on Lori, no effect on Chad, no care at all.
What happened on 9/22?
As indicated below, this is the last known sighting of JJ Vallow. There's also text information regarding phones associated with Tylee, Lori, and Colby, where either Lori is messaging one or the other or receiving a message from them in request of starting on 9/22 of 19 and including the other dates, October 1st, October 14th, November 22nd, and November 25th of 19. Of either requesting or stating that a Venmo payment would be sent to Colby.
And who was requesting Venmo payments?
Colby would request them, but these messages specifically were Lori either texting Tylee's account or Tylee's phone saying to send Colby money, or Lori would text Colby saying that she had
How simple is that? You dumb freaking people.
transferred money into Tylee's
Not you
account,
guys.
and Tylee would send the money
It's
to
so
Colby.
simple. I don't know how clear I've had to be with that. Like I literally showed them this because I have nothing to hide from people. Was I embarrassed because I had a full-time job and I was asking my mom for money? Yeah, it was embarrassing. I would never want to ask Lori for money. But at that point, there was a system between us that worked. And honestly, like I've told you guys, if Tylee asked me for money, I'd have no issue sending her money. That's just what it is. Like, she's my sister. I never just was like, oh, Tylee has money, let me take her money. I had asked Lori and she'd always refer me back to Tylee. And so that's just as simple as I can possibly make it. And it is unfortunate because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing when you're 21, 22 years old and you have a full-time job and you're there all day, miss your entire, I wouldn't even see my daughter barely. Like, she'd wake up, take her nap. I'd go to work from 10 to 7, come home at around 7 for something and miss her whole day. And I still couldn't afford to live. It was just really embarrassing.
What's the next event?
So on the bottom, on October 9th of 2019, This is a reported shooting at Miss Tammy Daybell. The following date,
Grounds.
Why is his mic always
Response,
off,
Mr.
bro?
Wood?
Your Honor, I think the evidence has shown so far that, especially with the way he said that, that is not an inaccurate statement.
All right, and I agree, looking at the time frame as well, or the timeline exhibit here.
Yeah,
all over.
but people made this whole money thing so weird. Like they made it such a big deal, and people were going out of their way to say stupid stuff like Lori was paying me off to be quiet. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Who the fuck would take $100 as a payoff for a silence for their sister being killed? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You couldn't give me $1 billion to be quiet. If I would have known about any of this bullshit, I would have been the biggest freaking flipper and snitch you've ever seen in your life. Because I wouldn't condone Lori in any way, shape, or form. That's why she never said a word to me. Because she knew that I would get her. No, without a hesitation. But I had to deal with that. And yeah, maybe this is a little bit of that sting because that pissed me off. Like I had to deal with that shit in real time. People making all these things of how Lori was paying me off or I was begging my sister for money. I've had stupid people come on our channel and do the same thing with our community. Oh, you don't have Tylee's money anymore. I never wanted Tylee's money, you dumbass. I never wanted that, ever. It just is what it is, but it's frustrating when you have to take those type of problems and deal with those types of people and that kind of narrative around you. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous.
Rule the objection.
What happened on October 10th?
On October 10th, so Venmo also provided the IP data regarding the transfers of the funds. And in regards to the IP data associated with Tylee's Venmo account on October 10th of 19, that transfer of funds from Tylee's bank account via Venmo was sent to Colby with the IP being in Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City,
And
Missouri?
then if you just go through the last few boxes.
And then to finish up on October 9th of 19, this is the reported death of Miss Tammy Daybell. On November 5th of 2019 being the wedding of Chad and Lori. And then on June 9th of 20 is the date that we discovered the bodies of Tylee and JJ.
And just to be clear, those dates are on there from what you testified to put this financial information in view of the complete timeline and investigation, correct?
That's correct.
Kelsey.
Mr. Douglas, we've been
No,
talking
it's
about
like
Tylee
seriously, I don't have to defend myself. People are going to believe what they want. As long as you know the narrative and you know the truth and I say it, you can take it for what it is. But we've never discussed this because at first I was really embarrassed. And then when you are inherently embarrassed about something, a part of you feels like, okay, like I wish I would have never done that. And then you feel ashamed. Even though I know that narrative's not true and has nothing to do with this, right? It has nothing to do with like the stuff people were saying about me because the internet is wild, as we all know. It can be a beautiful thing and a horrible thing. But the simple thing is like I went to Lori for money and I would get referred to Tylee. Don't know how to make it more clear than that.
and a financial timeline you prepared for her. In the course of your investigation, did you prepare a similar timeline for JJ and financial information regarding him?
I did.
Did you do that in preparation for your testimony?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness be handed State's Exhibit 113.
I still think the marshal's a good guy. I am curious about the other people in the room hearing this stuff. I wonder what is going through their minds.
Mr. Douglas, do you recognize State's Exhibit 113?
I do.
What does it purport to be?
This is a similar timeline, but for JJ.
And you just testified that you prepared this.
I prepared this.
Wait.
And did you
hold
do
on.
so?
Is anybody? Okay. That's why I'm gonna play and go get my paper. So Tylee was getting $4,000 a month, or is this total between Tylee and JJ? I thought Tylee was getting $2,000 a month. So I'm trying to figure that out.
So in an effort to aid the jury in understanding the financial records regarding JJ Vallow.
That is correct.
And what did you use to create that timeline?
This one, there's
Thank
similar
you, Tom
data.
Willie. I would help my kids. I don't care a frick how old my kids are. They're my babies, and when they're 89 and I'm 100 and whatever, they're gonna be my babies, and I'd help them. But whatever. It's embarrassing, only in the sense of like, obviously, I would never want to deal with that kind of backlash from people because they didn't know what they were talking about. But it's also embarrassing just to ask people for things like that.
On this also included are some history from, again, Lori's her iCloud account, the rental agreement, and the Social Security and bank records.
And is that a true and accurate representation of the document you created?
It is.
Your Honor, for demonstrative purposes, I'd ask that State's Exhibit 113 be entered into evidence.
All right. Very well. States Exhibit 113 is entered and admitted.
May I publish?
Yes.
I gotta get my papers, guys. Give me 1 sec. Let me keep it on. I gotta grab my paper.
Detective, is this the financial timeline we just spoke of?
It is.
Where does this timeline begin?
This one, due to JJ not receiving Social Security funds until later into 2019, I started this with the date that is reported to be when Chad and Lori met.
All right, and then what's the next event?
The death of his father, Charles Vallow,
And that was on,
July 11th of 19.
walk us through the next couple of boxes.
Again, Lori texted Chad about receiving the $4,000 a month Social Security, but not receiving the life insurance money. JJ was reported to have an emotional support dog or a support dog of nature. And this on October 9th of 2019 is.
It's time to clear up the thing with Bailey. Too many people don't understand what was going on with Bailey. Too many people don't understand this. All right, so JJ's dog. JJ's dog was a very sweet little puppy they bought for Christmas of 2018. Oh, it had to be 2018 Christmas. Yeah. So they bought a service dog. His name was Bailey. Tylee named him, I think, and they called him Bailey Bear. He was a little mix of, he was a Labradoodle. He was the sweetest little thing you've ever seen in your life. And they hired a guy to train Bailey as a service dog for JJ. Well, the truth about Bailey is that Bailey was a really good dog. He was very well tempered. He had a very good temperament. And so just training him, I think, was even easier because he was already really like calm and just like, I don't know, he's just a really good dog in general. And then they obviously had him like trained to the nine. Well, basically, JJ did not have a significant need for Bailey just because Bailey was more like an emotional support dog. And I think that even it was more of a emotional support dog for Charles. And not everybody knows that, obviously, but I'm just telling you guys because a lot of people thought that, I think JJ, look, the thing about JJ is that JJ had a very hyperactive mind. He was focused on what he was going to do. He loved Bailey, but Bailey was not like I have to have Bailey with me all the time. Bailey was just, I think it was a good idea. It just wasn't necessarily as what everybody thought it was. Everybody thought that Bailey was like, JJ had to have Bailey, and that's just not the case. He was not dependent on him like that. That was the idea, but that was not JJ's perspective. It was still really crazy of everything that happened and how Lori had a complete lack of humanity and life for anybody or anything. So that's just life, you know? But it was not as dire for JJ to have Bailey. What JJ leaned on and wanted was his dad and his mom and his sister. And then when I was around, I'd give him that love as well. And he loved his grandparents. He loved his family, but who he really needed was his parents. And then Tylee took a really big role in that. So I just kind of wanted to clear up the Bailey idea because that's just not really necessarily as what everybody had said that Bailey was such an integral thing to JJ. That was not really the case. It was more like Bailey was, exactly, Kelsey just said it. It was like Bailey was more like Charles's dog, in a sense of like Charles learned all the commands and Bailey was with Charles a lot of the time and all of those things. So like I said, when I heard in the beginning, everybody said the service dog is gone. And I just thought that's not necessarily like for JJ himself. I didn't see him needing Bailey, leaning on him like that. That's all I'm going to say. So, but it doesn't matter. He still took, Lori still one by one. The thing I always say for JJ that is the most hard part for me to accept always is the fact that JJ had to watch everything slowly get taken away from him. One by one, by the way. One by one. And every single thing he had in life was taken away. And then finally it was hid. And so it just shows you how cold these people really are. They're literally psychotic, and I don't think that they have feelings. And then to clear up what happened to Bailey, what I heard happened to Bailey, and what is he went back to the trainer that trained him, and I think that they found a family that took him in, and he got to actually be a service dog for that family. And that is better than the rumors that we've heard about Alex taking care of dogs and doing things of that nature. But it doesn't matter. JJ lost every person, everything he knew, and he had to live through it all as everything just disappeared. And he had no idea how to comprehend that. He was a 7-year-old little boy with autism. And yeah, I'm not going to try to cry right now. So let's just keep going.
Or that Lori had posted this dog for sale on Animal Direct on August 12th of 19. Again, the life insurance policy being changed to Colby to the tune of $2 million that did not list JJ on it.
All right. And then, and that was the same that was on Lori's, or I
Why did she do that and not say anything?
on Tylee's?
On Tylee's, correct.
And what's the next date and what happened then?
On August 14th of 19, again, this is when Lori applied for the apartment in Rexburg. She stated that she'd be receiving the $5,740 Social Security. And then moving to this information on the bottom, September 1st, the move of Lori and the children to Rexburg, 9/8 being the last known sighting of Tylee. And then on September 18th of 2019, this is when the Social Security payments regarding JJ were deposited into Lori's account.
And then what happened after that?
And then on September 22nd is the last known sighting of JJ. And then to finish out October 9th, again, October 9th of 19, the incident with Tammy Daybell, October 19th being the death of Miss Daybell, Chad and Lori's wedding on November 5th of 19.
The audacity. It's so stupid to be shocked by it, but the timing of that, the absolute weeks later. Okay. I'm saying it because whatever. Chad's kids. Really? What the fuck did you think was going on when your dad got married that fast and you knew it? That's not just mistress level. Come on. Come on, bro. Come on. Like, when I found out Lori was married, I went ballistic. And that was in what, December, middle of December, late December, when they finally dropped all that information and we found out that she was married and had lived in Rexburg and had disappeared and they were looking for the kids. Does that not ring like my mom was just died? Okay, let's put it from that perspective. You think your mom just died and then he's married a few weeks later? That's not even moving on quickly. That's beyond quick. That is light speed. How are you not? So you are so sad, and then a few weeks later, boom, married. He's remarried. Come on, bro. I know some of them probably watch this stuff. I know it. Or somebody tells them stuff. Come on, bro. That's literally such a red flag. It's not even, that's like, it might be a definition of a red flag. If you looked up in a dictionary red flag, it should be the definition of married within a few weeks after your spouse is dead.
And the remains of the children being found on June 9th and 20th.
And on top of that, then you find out about the kids and you still think that your dad didn't do anything wrong.
Mr. Douglas, we've spent a fair amount of time talking about finances and Social Security, correct?
Correct.
At any time, did you prepare an exhibit that showed the amount of Social Security paid out to that Lori Vallow received on behalf of her children after their last known sightings?
I did.
What did you use to prepare that?
That includes Lori's BBVA account information, solely because that's where the funds were being deposited at the time.
And did you prepare that in preparation for your testimony today?
I did.
Did you do that to aid the jury in understanding the Social Security payments being made in this case?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness be handed State's Exhibit 114. I would note that there is a 114A and B in evidence already, but not 114.
All right, thanks for the clarification, Mr. Wood.
So I guess he's just going to give a total. I'm just wondering how much she was getting. Because, like, Chad got the life insurance payout, which is probably how they funded Hawaii in buying a condo. I cannot put
Mr. Douglas, do you recognize?
put into context the cost of living in Kauai. Like, everything is imported to an island. It is not cheap. So buying property there or renting, even renting property would be astronomically expensive. And so they had a lot of money.
Is State's Exhibit 114.
I do.
What does it purport to be?
This is the Social Security payment table that I created regarding the Social Security deposits being deposited into Lori Vallow's BBVA account.
All right, and is that a true and accurate representation of the chart you made?
It is.
Your Honor, I'd ask that for demonstrative purposes, Exhibit 114 be entered into evidence.
All right, without objection, then Exhibit 114 is admitted.
And I told you guys straight up, I'm not here to try to make those kids feel bad about their dad. You can love your dad, but come on. You're being put through the ringer. Going to bat for him is actually just hurting you. And all the things that he's told you and lied to you about is ruining your life. So.
May I publish?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas, can you explain how you put this chart together?
So this information is derived, again, just solely from the deposits of Social Security into Lori's BBVA account. As reflected on here,
Can't see it, bro.
I labeled each account as to the individual that the money was being deposited from or the benefits from.
It looks like 2s and 3s, so like 2,000, 3,000. I can't tell.
And the benefits come from the information from the deceased fathers.
All right. And
Okay.
under the section for Tylee, what is the first date you have marked?
The first date being October 23rd of 19.
And why is that the first date you put there?
We chose that date, or I chose that date, because Social Security is paid later or back paid. And I didn't feel that it was fair to include payments in September, even though given the time of death for Tylee, we felt that this was more accurate representation of the funds after the death of the child.
So, okay, so that's the first payment she receives
Mhm.
after you believe that Tylee is deceased.
Correct.
And for JJ, is that, I see a box marked 10/16/2019.
Correct. This would have been the first deposit of his. It is noteworthy that it's obvious that Tylee's deposits were different than JJ and Lori's, to the fact that this is when Tylee's benefits were being deposited into her JP Morgan account and carried forward. That was paid later in the month and on a separate date than JJ and Lori's deposits,
All right.
with the date being October 16th of 19.
And then it looks like you have two sections for Lori. Why is that?
I can't testify to the reason that the box with TCS Treasury 449 being less information given to me that it could be due to bad debts. It could be college funds that weren't paid, but it was being docked for some reason, but I can't testify to it.
Okay, but is the reason it's in a different box just that it's a different amount?
Yeah, that's how it's reflected per her bank statement.
And so, and is there a total amount of money received after what you believe to be the deaths of Tylee and JJ?
Yes, the grand total down the bottom right being the $22,545.05.
$22,000 total in a few months. Was it worth it? Really? That was worth it. That was
Detective, as
worth all
part
of
of your
this.
investigation and preparation for today, did you prepare a timeline that identifies what you see as the theft of financial funds from the Social Security Administration?
I did.
How did you prepare that?
Again, given the information from bank statements and the Social Security information, the time of death of the children, search history reflected information, text messages, emails.
And is some of that information also reflected in the last two documents we've looked at?
That's correct.
But you've included other information as well.
I did.
Did you prepare that document in preparation for your testimony today?
Yes.
And did you do so in an effort to aid the jury in understanding this complete financial timeline?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness be handed States Exhibit 115.
I know, Q. I agree with you. It
Mr.
doesn't-
Douglas, do you
It
recognize
feels weird to watch it because it's so much information still.
States Exhibit 115?
I do.
What is it?
Is what I titled the Grand Theft Financial Timeline.
And is this the document we were just speaking of?
Yes,
Is it a true and accurate representation of what you created to aid the jury in understanding this today?
it is.
Your Honor, I'd ask that for demonstrative purposes, that Exhibit 115 be entered into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
Exhibit 115 is entered.
And may I publish?
Yes.
I can't even read it.
Mr. Douglas, can you walk us through the first few steps of this timeline?
I will. Starting again with on April 3rd of 2018, the death of Joe Ryan, and June 14th of 2018, this is when the Social Security starts being deposited into Tylee's JP Morgan Chase account, ending 3918. When Lori opens her BBVA account, ending 3229 on October 23rd of 18. The life insurance proceeds being paid out to Lori on October 26th of 18, also being the same date that Lori and Chad met. The death of Charles Vallow on July 11th of 19. On July 12th, Lori's bank card, Bank of Hawaii, is used to make a payment to Valley of the Sun Mortuary, and this being the same day that Chad calls Valley of the Sun Mortuary.
Okay. And then what happened next?
On July 18th of 19, Lori texts Chad about receiving the $4,000 a month Social Security and not receiving the life insurance. July 24th of 19, this being the last date that Social Security is deposited into Tylee's JP Morgan Chase account, ending 3918.
I mean, my gosh, bro.
Can you walk us through the first couple of boxes there?
On August 12th of 19, this being the date of the change to Colby for the life insurance of Miss Lori. On August 14th of 19, Lori applying for the Rexburg apartment, stating that she's receiving the $5,700.
It's so odd. Like, okay, I'm just trying to mentally go where she is, right? Just let me go back, just so I understand that date. Did I go all the way
Can
back?
you walk us through the first couple of boxes there?
On August 12th of 19, this being the date of the change to Colby for the
August 19th. Why? Why not Chad? Why me? Why change the beneficiary? Unless it was Charles. Solely Charles.
life insurance of Miss Lori. On August 14th of 19, Lori applying for the Rexburg apartment, stating that she's receiving the $5,740 in Social Security. On August
Why
16th
would she make it her husband?
of 19,
They were already talking. Like that just, I'm trying to figure out, like, obviously I'll never understand her mentality, but that specific thing is so weird because she just changed it, never said a word about changing it. And then if she would have died, that money would have just come. But they already knew a few days or weeks, within a few days of that, they ended up taking Tylee and then JJ.
this is when Tylee's payments are changed to be deposited into Lori's BBVA account ending 3229. On August 19th of 19, Lori and Tylee opened Tylee's BBVA account ending 5794. On August 28th of 19, this being the date that Tylee's Social Security deposit or payments being deposited into Lori's BBVA account ending 3229. Lori and the children moving to Rexburg on September 1st of 19. The text messages from Tylee to Colby that mom gets her gets her money now. And this is also the date that Tammy's life insurance with LifeMap was increased on September 8th of 19. And also this being the same date, the last known sign.
Why was it increased? I want to know about that process. You call them and increase it and pay more premium? Like I'm trying to understand because that's so like it's unbelievably sketchy.
Sighting of Tylee Ryan on September 8th of 19.
And what happened on the 10th?
On November 10th of 19, Tylee's BBVA account is as the funding source to her Venmo account.
Like her changing it to me is just it's so weird. What was the point of that?
And what happened on 9/18 of 2018?
On 9/18 of 19, this being the date that Lori and JJ's Social Security funds start being deposited into her BBVA account ending 3229. On September 22nd of 19, the text messages referring to the Venmoing money to Colby, also being the last known sighting of JJ on September 22nd of 19.
And if you moved it 10/9/19?
On 10/9, this being the date of the attempted shooting on Miss Tammy. On 10/10, this being the Venmo activity that took place in Kansas City, Missouri regarding Tylee's Venmo account. The death of Miss Tammy on October 19th of 19. Chad and Lori's wedding on 11/5 of 19. We recovered an email to a rental company named Kauai Dreams on 11/8 of 19.
Company
Where Chad
Dreams.
was inquiring, stating that they were a clean couple with no kids and no pets. On December 20th of 19, this is when Rexburg announced the investigation. January 3rd of 20 being the first search on Chad's property, and June 9th of 20 being the second search where we recovered the remains of the children.
But if you did all of this for money and you love your new husband so much,
Mr. Douglas, those last
Why not
several
make
exhibits
him your
dealt
beneficiary?
primarily with the Social Security
which
funds.
if Chad
of,
would have had her be the beneficiary, I don't think Chad would have hesitated to take her out and get that money for himself too. Tell me I'm wrong. If she would have made him the beneficiary at some point, very soon, he would have got what he wanted and they would have taken her out, got her money, and he would have been a millionaire. So maybe that's why. Maybe she knew that.
Tylee and JJ. Did you review financial documents related to Chad Daybell?
I did.
What documents did you look at?
Primarily his Mountain America Credit Union account, including his personal and the business Spring Creek account. But there was also credit cards that were included that we found that we researched as well.
All right. And did you also look at life insurance?
Oh, yes, the life insurance for Tammy, the 2 policies.
Detective, in
Like, can you imagine Your new spouse that you're about to be with, you know is capable of it and will take out the other spouse. They both did that. The trust issues must be through the freaking roof. So there had to be parts of them that thought that way because that's what they were doing. How can you ever trust somebody that does that stuff?
Preparing for your testimony today, did you, Your Honor, if I could have one moment, I think I have the. All right. In preparation for your testimony today, did you prepare another financial timeline that focused more on Chad Daybell?
I did.
And did you do that in preparation? Well, I just asked that for your testimony today. Did you do that in order to aid the jury to understand the financial documents and time frame in which these transactions took place related to this case?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness be handed State's Exhibit 116.
She did it before, though. She did it in August, not September. That's what I'm saying. Think about how pre-planned some of this stuff is. She does that to Charles, and then she is about to move. This is before she moved. So she goes and calls the insurance company knowing she's not going to get the benefits and changes it to me unless she just called and Charles and I were both on it, and then Charles is now gone, so then she put just me, but she still made that point to do that and changed it to just me, never said a word about it, then goes and a few weeks later starts everything that happens next for the next 2 months, and then marries Chad very quickly, August to November. All of that happened in a couple of months. So that's all I'm saying is it's just weird that she did that in August. Dang, Dryer. Okay. Freaking telling me you're done.
Mr. Douglas, do you recognize State's Exhibit 116?
I do.
What does it purport to be?
This is a financial timeline regarding Chad and Tammy's finances, to also include information regarding Lori and life insurance and travel information.
And is this this is the document we were just previously speaking of?
Correct.
Is this a true and accurate representation of the document you created?
It is.
Your Honor, for demonstrative purposes, I'd ask that State's Exhibit 116 be entered into testimony.
No objection.
Into evidence. I apologize.
Exhibit 116 is entered and admitted into evidence.
Yeah, Chad tried to cozy up to me. Yeah. Yep. Stupid ass. Like we were going to be friends. Talk about Patrick Mahomes. Dumbass.
May I publish?
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk sports with a guy who's missing with my mother. Now my mother's in jail because they can't find the kids, and you think you can give me a phone call and start up a conversation about sports? Fuck you. After you killed my entire family.
Mr. Douglas, can you walk us through the first few steps of this timeline?
I can. October 3rd of 2018 being the first date that I can report that Chad Daybell had purchased a prepaid phone. October 26th of 18 also being the date that Chad and Lori met. On February 23rd of 19, Alex's Barclay card was used to purchase a flight from Lori, or for Lori to Idaho Falls. March 14th of 19, Lori's Barclay card is used to purchase a flight
Barclay.
for Chad to Arizona.
To be clear, that Barclay account, that was Alex Cox's account that she had a card on, correct?
Correct. Originally, it was just
Whoa,
in
they
Alex's
had an account together? What the hell?
name, but in March, Lori is added as a card holder to where she had her own card on Alex's account.
And what
If you
happened
guys
there?
haven't heard that video, I did a video and played the voicemail from Chad. I was going through my voicemails and I rolled down and I heard it and I was in shock because I forgot it happened. It was back in 2020 when Lori was first arrested and he called me. So if you haven't heard it, it's on the channel and you can go watch and listen to what he said.
Next on your timeline.
April 22nd of 19, Lori paid for Chad's flight to Houston using her BBVA account. May 31st of 19, prepaid phone purchase by Chad. Also June 17th of 19, another prepaid phone purchase by Chad. The death of Charles Vallow, July 11th of 19.
They're legitimately flying each other out to each other with both spouses alive. Full on cheating. This is a full on affair.
Lori's Bank of Hawaii card being used to make the payment to Valley of the Sun Mortuary, and Chad calling Valley of the Sun Mortuary. On July 18th of 19, Lori texting Chad that she'd be receiving the Social Security, but not the life insurance money.
Why did she have an account with Alex? That's weird as hell.
What do you have marked for July 20th of 2019?
That is the day that Lori used her Bank of Hawaii card to purchase a flight for Chad to Arizona. This took place again August 2nd of 19. Lori's Barclay card is used to purchase a flight for Chad to Arizona.
Where the fuck did this dude say he was going? He writes books. Like, what was his home excuse to leave?
August 10th of 19, Lori's Barclay card is used to purchase her flight into Idaho Falls.
And just for clarity, is the Idaho Falls airport the closest airport to Rexburg, Idaho?
That I know of, aside from flying directly into Rexburg.
Let me rephrase that. Is it the closest
You can't fly directly into Rexburg.
airport that you can take commercial flights into?
Yes.
You have to fly a private plane to get into Rexburg directly.
If you can go through the next couple of slides.
On September 1st of 19, this being the move of Lori and the kids to Rexburg, Miss Tammy's increase of her life insurance on September 8th of 19 regarding Life Map, also being the last known date, last known sighting of Tylee on September 18th.
That's how she hit everything. That's how she hit it all. Was Alex had in a bank account that he put her on, and they shared that account and paid for Chad's stuff. So Alex fucking knew the whole time about the affair, condoned the affair, and was just waiting to help out. Like, what was Alex's part in all of this? Because I almost felt like he was just kind of on call for Lori. And I know that sounds stupid, but like, you need to understand, from my experience, they never were that close until my wedding. Like, all of a sudden, Alex is coming over all the time. He's helping us set up for the wedding. And it's like, that's weird. Alex is just not a normal guy to be showing up. Just like, now they're close. That's just kind of weird. But you don't think about it, because I don't know how siblings work when they're older. I don't know if you're like, oh yeah, now we're closer. I'm closer with this sibling now because we love each other more and we're talking about more. Like, I didn't know, but he knew. Like, Alex said, had an account with her. So whatever money was being put in there that they were sharing, this was very, very premeditated. And Alex was way more involved in knowing that it's hiding from Charles than I ever knew.
19, Chad purchased another prepaid phone on September 22nd of 19, this being the last known sighting of JJ. On October 8th of 19, Chad initiated a refinance with Wells Fargo. On October 9th of 19, the attempted shooting with Miss Tammy. October 19th of 19, Tammy's death. On October 24th of 19, this is when Chad filed with the life insurance company Primerica. And this is when he canceled the refinance with Wells Fargo. And October 30th of 19, Chad files his life insurance claim with LifeMap.
Calls and increases it a month before, and then calls very quickly after, and then calls for Charles's cremation as a, whatever he said he was, a cousin or a nephew, and said, and tries to get a price on cremation. Like, bunch of bitches. That's all this group is. That's what they are. I don't know how else to say it. What other word is there
You
for
can
it?
start us on November 1st, 2019.
On November 1st of 19, Chad received his final check and resigned from LDS Avow.
If you can pause, what is avow?
Uh,
LDS avow?
LDS Avow, the Chad would write a column for LDS Avow. Mr. Chris Perrett is, it is his business that he oversees, and he would give Chad a percentage of the fees that he acquired.
Yeah, you got to vet a little bit more better. You need to be paying attention who's writing stuff on websites. Be better.
Regarding those that would read Chad's column.
And November 5th.
On November 5th, this being the wedding of Chad and Lori. On November 18th, Chad purchased a SIM card and a total wireless phone card. November 29th of 19, this is the trip to Knott's Berry Farms. The information that we acquired from Knott's Berry.
That trip needs to be talked more about. We need to go more into that.
Farms included a ticket for Chad, 5 of his kids or in-laws, as well as one for Lori.
What the fuck? You went on a trip with the mistress and you didn't think that was the weirdest thing in the world. If everything would have happened with me as an adult and my mom said we're going on a trip and I'm bringing someone with me that's the opposite sex, I would say you are out of your mind. And I'm not going. If this dude's going, who the hell is that guy? Why is he on this trip? Who is that? You guys went on a fucking trip, a family trip, a couple weeks later? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? That is the biggest red flag on the planet. What are we talking about here? You guys went to California as a family, and then Lori. And that wasn't the most like wild thing you've ever seen. You did not question that. Hold on.
Chad's column.
I'm going back to the timeline.
November 5th.
On November 5th, this being the wedding of Chad and Lori.
Okay, so Tammy, October 19th, November 5th, they get married.
On November 18th, Chad purchased a SIM card and a total wireless phone card. November
Hold on.
29th of 19,
Just give me
this
a
is the
second.
trip to Knott's Berry Farms. The information that we acquired from
19th. November 19th is the trip. That's a month to the day. That's 4 weeks later. That's 1 month. That's 1 month down the road. A month away, you go on a trip with a woman you've never, I don't know if they've met him. I don't know what the situation is. But you've got to be kidding me.
Knott's Berry Farms, included a ticket for Chad, 5 of his kids or in-laws, as well as one for Lori. December 20th,
On
19.
those financial records, did it list the names of who those tickets were purchased for?
So Knott's Berry Farms was able to produce copies of the tickets that included the names of the individuals. December 20th of 19, Rexburg
I don't want
announced
to hear shit about me. I don't want to hear shit about me. Come on now. You're not like Colby. You're nothing. Yeah, we're nothing alike. Because I wouldn't have condoned any behavior like that. I wouldn't have let my mom slide on that shit. I would have been questioning her like no other, wondering what the hell she's thinking.
investigation into Chad, sorry, let me restate that. December 20th of 19, Rexburg PD announced the investigation. I also noted that Chad had transferred $1,000 each to 3 of his older children.
Oh,
Specific-
daddy's giving you money, huh?
The children that live near him in the Rexburg area.
And when you say the Rexburg Police Department announced an investigation, what investigation did they announce that day?
At this time, it was the missing of the children. The children were missing at this time and trying to locate the children.
And on January 3rd?
On January 3rd of 20, this being the first search of Chad's property. I also noted that there were 2 transfers to Chad's middle son, Seth, from one being from his business account, one being from his personal account with Mountain America, to the tune of $1,500 to his son, to his son, Seth, that day. March 6th of 20, this is the date that Lori was extradited from Hawaii to Idaho. On March 8th of 20, Chad sells his Dodge Dakota and his Chevy Equinox to his two daughters. They both reimbursed him $200 each for both vehicles. And on
He made them pay, bitch. You have all of Tammy's money to yourself. You made them pay money, period. You sold it even for $200. You have their mom's money. Yeah, I don't even need to get. I'm gonna start ripping this dude I'm gonna rip him to his core.
9th of 20, we discovered that Chad had transferred $8,000 each to his 3 older children that lived in the area the morning of the search, and this being the same date that we located JJ and Kyle's bodies on.
You're not like me. You're not like Colby. You can take care of yourself, right? Fucking $8,000 transferred to all of you the morning of the search before he went to jail. Yeah, this talking you should do should be done. That's fucking sick. What was that all about? You really want to talk? Yeah, keep your fucking mouth shut.
Property.
Your Honor, they're already in evidence. I'm going to ask to publish State's Exhibit 77G and H.
Okay, since they've already been admitted, they may be published.
Mr. Douglas, do you recognize State's Exhibit 77G?
I do.
What is that?
This, can you scroll or bring it down just a little bit? This account ending 3007 would have been Chad's personal account with Mountain America.
And why was this document of interest to you?
So again, with the date right there, June 9th.
Do you have a pointer?
I do.
He
You
probably
could point
did
to
that
it.
while he's in the car before he took off.
Speak about.
So June, yeah, twist this here.
The
So
morning of.
On June 9th, there was a transfer of the $10,000 into Chad's from his Spring Creek book account that he had that we'll discuss in a second. The 10,000 making the balance, this 20,000 and change here, and then transfers to his son Seth on June 9th to the tune of $8,000. And then another transfer June 9th to his, the account is in the name of Joseph Murray, but this is also his oldest daughter, Emma's account.
Keep talking. Let's hear it. The morning your dad gets arrested for having 2 dead children on his property, you get an $8,000 bank account transfer. But you can take care of yourself, right? He taught you how to take care of yourself. That's not weird to you? That within a couple hours of that transfer, they find 2 bodies on his thing and he goes to jail for the rest of his life. Okay.
For $8,000 as well, leaving an account balance of the $4,400.
And this is still 77G, second page. Was there anything of note to you regarding your investigation on this page?
So this one shows the savings account that was associated with Chad's personal account. And on the same date of June 9th, a transfer to his
We all
oldest
know his bail would not be set at $8,000.
son, Garth Daybell, an $8,000 transfer that date as well.
And this is 77H. Do you recognize this document?
I do.
I'm pissed, bro.
What is it?
This is the transfer data that Mountain America
Just,
was
like,
able to
that's the
provide.
thing. Just shut up about it. Like, it's one thing. I don't know why you could be mad at me, how you could be mad at me for just telling you the truth that your dad brainwashed the shit out of all of you. And it's sad and it's effed and you can't face this, but you actually want to talk about anything to do with how you're taking care of yourself. That alone, oh man, I gotta stop myself here.
Regarding the transfers of the 10,000 into the account that I just spoke of, and then the 3 transfers to the 3 oldest children. And it also includes the date and time of the transfers.
And so I think you've already testified that the date was June 9th, correct?
Correct.
What time, and if you can point, I
Yes,
understand it's
let's hear
small,
this.
to the time those transfers were made.
Again, put this thing here.
I didn't even promise you guys I wasn't gonna cuss today, so I didn't break a promise.
The transfers taking place right here in this area here, right around 9:50 in the morning. And as indicated, they took place Mountain Standard Time, so it would have been 9:50 local.
Your Honor, I have just a couple more exhibits.
Yeah,
with
when Ray showed up around 8 something, I remember that.
this witness.
Right when he was in his car, right when he knew what was gonna happen, and when he was looking over his shoulder, right before they found the kids.
But I think they'll probably take more than the 6 minutes. And it would probably be easier to just start with them in the morning. Mr. Douglas, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
When we finished off yesterday, we'd gone over multiple financial timelines, correct?
Correct.
All right. In the course of your investigation,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Keep
yesterday
talking.
you spoke multiple times about Venmo.
Yes.
In the course of your investigation, did you investigate further into Venmo activity for Tylee Ryan?
I did.
And did you do so in view of the other facts of this case as well?
Yes, I did.
What records did you review in your investigation regarding Venmo activity?
So the original review was of the Venmo in of itself. Tylee had a Venmo account and Lori had 2. And after reviewing the Venmo activity in of itself, I reviewed what is also called the funding source for the Venmo, being the credit cards and debit cards, bank accounts associated with those, or what the funds would have been drawn from.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness be handed State's Exhibit 117. Mr. Douglas, do you recognize State's Exhibit 117?
I do.
What is it?
This is a timeline that I created that I titled Venmo activity that includes the 2 accounts that Lori had regarding Venmo as well as Tylee's.
All right. And did you prepare that in anticipation of testifying today?
I did.
Did you prepare that to aid the jury in understanding the Venmo activity on Tylee Ryan's account and how it might interact with this case?
That is correct.
Is that a true and accurate representation of the timeline or chart you created?
It is.
Your Honor, I'd ask that for demonstrative purposes, that State's Exhibit 117 be entered into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Very well. Exhibit 117 is entered and admitted.
May I publish?
Yes.
Okay, that was quick.
Mr. Douglas, this chart doesn't all fit at once, so I'm going to start. over
Sorry about
here.
that.
Can you talked about the documents you looked at to prepare this. Can you just explain for the jury in a little more detail how you put this together?
So starting in January of 2019, now you can see the 3 accounts. I labeled the funding sources that were associated with these accounts. As I stated yesterday, Lori had a few JP Morgan Chase accounts, but Tylee's JP Morgan Chase account was the only funding source associated with her Venmo account until September. And this also, the activity, the Venmo also provides who the funds are going to, and as associated would have been how that individual labeled themselves in Venmo.
All right. So can you tell us who was Tylee Venmoing money to?
So if you could slide it up a little bit, please. So as you can see, as I labeled from January 7th to August 7th, Tylee's account was associated with her JP Morgan account ending 3918. Her primary Venmo activity was to Colby Ryan, who was her older brother, as well as Kelsey Benson, who is Colby's significant other. Also a friend of hers, 2 of her friends, this Jillian Kennedy and a McKenna Webb, to which there was only 1 transaction each.
I'm going to point.
Yeah, and it's so simple. It's the same thing. Hey, can you Venmo us? Oh, okay, I'll Venmo Kelsey from Tylee's account from Lori. Or I'll Venmo, or I'll give Tylee money for you and I'll send it to you. Is it that insane? I guess it is for people.
With my pen. So these payments, is that the number of payments being made?
That is correct. Throughout that time frame, that is the amount of payments associated with that account.
So how much did she send in that time frame to Colby Ryan?
Tylee,
Yes, I'm sorry, that wasn't very clear. How much
No.
did Tylee send to Colby Ryan?
So throughout that time frame, Tylee had Venmoed Colby 4 times for $170 total.
And
Holy shit. Right?
so
Did you
you
guys
talked
even,
about
did people who talk, did you watch this? I don't know. Maybe you didn't.
a change in the funding source. Is that represented on this chart?
It is.
Where is that?
If you'll slide it over slightly. And the jury will be able to associate this chart with the chart that we referenced yesterday, Tylee's bank account records, the orange being associated with the orange on that account or that chart, as well as the red being associated with the red on that chart as well. And the funding source, I tried to get as close to even as possible, being changed per Venmo September 10th of 2019.
Holy hell, the day after? I know it's so stupid to be shocked. I know that. It's just, it's so cold. It's just crazy. And how the hell did she get into her phone?
Was there still Venmo activity after that?
There was.
And you have on here the move to Rexburg around September 1st.
Yes,
And then that you have it labeled Tylee is killed on September 9th.
correct.
Was there still Venmo activity after that?
There was.
What Venmo activity took place after that?
So the Venmo activity there in the
How
bottom
did she
right,
get into
starting
her phone?
September 10th, going through December 18th to Colby Ryan.
And do you have an amount that was sent to Colby Ryan?
There were 29 payments throughout that time period totaling $5,940.
That's all from Lori, and that's
And
all.
You said that Colby is Tylee's brother.
Older brother,
So Lori Vallow is his mother.
correct.
Yeah, she was
Your
sending
Honor, I'm
it
going to
through
ask
that.
that the witness be handed States Exhibit
Wasn't Tylee.
97 and 97A. 97 is a business records affidavit, which is the one subpart A. I believe this comes in by way of stipulation.
That's correct, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just review those quickly. Exhibit 97 and Exhibit 97A are both admitted.
Thank you.
Mr. Douglas, do you recognize States Exhibit 97A?
I do.
What is it?
These are records provided from Etsy.
Okay. And what is what do they show?
They show purchase by Lori on the date of August 15th, 2019 for 2 items with the description of glow-in-the-dark malachite rings. Malachite
What are
inlay
you
titanium.
fucking 12? Glow in the dark malachite rings. Glow in the dark was the search. You needed it to glow in the dark?
rings?
Your Honor, may I publish that exhibit for the jury?
You may.
Nerd.
Mr. Douglas, if you can show the jury what you were just speaking of.
So the information being provided by Etsy here and the order date or the day of purchase
Let's
being
go
August
back. Just to give everybody a very clear picture here, Tylee had ever Venmoed me while she was even alive $170. The money that was transferred ever since that was from Lori.
15th for the total value of the $259 shipped to Miss Lori Vallow, and the description being down here in this area.
Was there an email associated with Lori Vallow on that document?
Yes, there is.
What is it?
lollytime@icloud.com.
Detective, Mr. Douglas, I apologize. Did you do any further investigation into this purchase?
I did.
Was this purchase successful?
This purchase was returned. It was refunded to Miss Vallow.
And do you know why?
No, but not at this time for this one specifically.
All right.
Oh, they didn't like
Your
the
Honor, the
rings.
state has
Oh
no further
no.
questions at this time.
Oh no, they're glow in the
All right,
dark
cross-examination,
malachite
Mr.
nerd
Pryor.
rings. Didn't glow enough.
You previously mentioned that that we can refer to you as
Oh
Mr.
shit. I
Doug-
gotta deal with this dude again. I wasn't looking at that screen. I was looking at the other screen.
Douglas,
Yes, sir. That'll be fine.
not agent.
I
No,
gotta
sir.
chill
Not an
out,
agent,
man.
a forensic accountant, sir.
Okay. I recall you putting up one of the exhibits where it reflected that Chad purchased a phone prior to meeting Lori Vallow. Do you
Yes.
recall that?
I do.
Okay, and what was the purpose of putting that particular identifier on the Tammy's or the life timeline that you created in that situation?
So when we requested the information from Walmart that they provided regarding all the electronics, that being one, I found that substantial because of the continued pattern of the purchase of cell phones throughout the timeframe.
Okay, and did you look into what kind of phone that was?
It was provided, yes.
Oh,
Okay, what kind of phone
Pryor,
was
you
that?
do
I can't-
not want to go down this rabbit hole. This is an expert. He's going to flip you on your head if you ask a lot of questions. You cannot make him look dumb.
It's off the top of my head, sir. It's
Okay.
in my reports, but I can't
It's
remember.
one of those, and I don't want to use this term loosely, but it's one of those disposable phones. Would that be fair?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
And those either are required for you to add minutes to them, or you just purchase a new one. They're a relatively inexpensive way to have a second phone. Would you agree with that?
Yes, the purchase was inexpensive.
Right. And the continuing purchases of those phones was an inexpensive way to have a second phone, right?
It would have been.
And if you're having an affair with another woman and you're married, that's a pretty ideal way to hide the fact that you're having an affair by using a phone like that. Wouldn't you agree?
If you say so, sir.
You don't want the problems. You do not want smoke with this man. Don't think you're gonna lead him. You think he's stupid.
Well, it's not me saying so. I asked you.
No, I never purchased a phone for that purpose.
Well, I didn't ask you if you did, but would you agree that,
It could be used for that,
that
sure.
you use? Right. Okay.
You don't, dumbass.
Now, you also talked
Jesse
about the
Pinkman
number
has one, so he can call Walter White. You want to talk about the uses of the phone? You could put it up your butt if you wanted to, dumbass. It has nothing to do with, you can't force people to answer a certain type of question that you think it'd be used for.
of
I'm getting
items
pissed.
about purchases made. Is there any indication that in all of the financial records you examined, that there was any commingling? I guess that's a divorce term. Combining of assets between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow.
There's no indication that money from Chad's account went into Lori's or Lori's account going into Chad's, or
Okay.
no.
Okay. Now, we'll turn to Exhibit 112. And Judge, could I have Exhibit 112?
No, you can't have it. I'm getting
I
mad,
have
bro.
a copy, Judge, if you would prefer to.
I'm getting frustrated.
We've got the exhibit here.
Okay,
We'll
thank
have, Pryor will have the court's exhibit. If you'd like the witness to review that, you can have it taken him as well.
Do you have a recollection of 112, or would it help for you to just?
If you pull it up, sir, I'll know which one it is.
If I could use the,
He does not want to smoke. I am telling you right now, bro. He does not want
Yeah,
it.
it's been admitted, so the projector can be turned on.
skill level here is at best. Okay, so we start this with 4/3 of 2018. To your knowledge, Chad Daybell wasn't in the picture at that point, right?
No, sir.
And there's no indication that Chad Daybell knew Lori Vallow? Sir?
The reason I put this on here, sir,
I
was
didn't
because
ask you that. I just want you to answer my questions. I don't
Oh,
want
there's
hell
nothing
no.
that shows that Chad knew Lori at this time.
Don't answer his
Thank you.
question.
And at
Snap.
that point, Chad also didn't know Tylee Ryan, right?
No, not that I know of.
And there's no indication at all that Chad Daybell knew Joe Ryan, correct?
No indication that I know of.
And there's no indication in 4/3 of 2018 that Chad Daybell knew JJ Vallow, correct?
Sorry, state that again.
There's no indication that Chad Daybell knew JJ Vallow, correct?
At this time, no.
Okay. And then we'll move on to your timeline of 6/14 of 2018. Tylee starts receiving Social Security payments. Same questions. Chad Daybell, to your knowledge, didn't know Tylee at this point, correct?
That not to my knowledge, no.
JJ?
Nope.
Lori?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
We can skip Tylee receiving her GED.
Mhm.
10/23/18. Lori opens that BBVA account on 10/23 of 18. At that point, Chad Daybell doesn't know Lori at that point either, right?
No, as indicated below, it would have been 3 days prior to that.
3 days prior?
This account would have been opened on 10/23. Chad and Lori met on 10/26.
Right.
So 3 days
I
prior.
see what you're saying. I'm sorry, I wasn't tracking. That's okay. That was my bad.
That'll be fine. Thank you.
Yeah, he's
So
nice.
then we go to 10/26/18. And there's an indication that Lori Vallow came into a life insurance policy as the result of the death of Joseph Ryan. And she received a payment of $64,964.52. Is that correct?
$64,000.
That's, and I need you to clarify
Wait,
this for
she
me
got
because
up.
it's
Oh,
important.
hold on. Lori got the payment for Joe at $64,000, but Tylee got the benefit monthly. Why would Lori get the insurance payment?
that wouldn't have been the time she applied for the insurance money, correct?
No, this is when it was paid into her account.
Well, how
I
long?
applied earlier.
Okay, and I'm going to slow down so I don't interrupt you again, or I'm going to hear about it. Any idea from your experience how long it takes to apply for life insurance payments before you generally would get those payments?
Well, in my experience specific to this case, sir, Chad applied and he received one check within a week.
Okay. And that was within regards to Tammy, right?
That is correct.
But I'm talking about in your experience with this one.
This one specifically took a little longer from what I remember regarding this.
Do you have a recollection of how long it took?
I don't, not off the top of my head, sir.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that Lori had been anticipating receiving this almost $65,000 prior to the time that she met Chad Daybell or was ever introduced to Chad Daybell?
Lori knew about this before she met Chad Daybell.
Okay. And then on 12/10 of 18, Tylee starts getting paid. And please clear that by the JNS.
JNS Investments, this is her uncle's business.
Okay.
That's the name that they were under.
Okay. And then Tylee begins making monthly payments to T-Mobile on 2/25 of 19, right?
Correct.
Charles, and that would be Charles Vallow, right?
Correct.
Cosigns for Tylee to get a Jeep. And Tylee begins making monthly payments. Okay. Is that fair in the squares I've represented there?
That's correct. Yes.
It's
And
on
then
a
you
piece
put
of
down
paper.
that Charles Vallow dies on 7/11/19,
Doesn't die.
right?
Correct.
So what I'm having some difficulty with is this is Tylee's financial timeline, right?
Correct. That's what it's labeled, sir.
And it's talking about Tylee's, how she's spending her money and the manner in which she's spending the money, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you
And
struggling with?
Chad Daybell has nothing to do with any of the transactions above, right?
Not on this, no.
Okay. And the only reference to Chad Daybell is you put, well, when they met, right?
Correct.
And then you put that Charles Vallow dies, right?
Yes.
You're not trying to imply that because of financial reasons in this particular exhibit, Chad Daybell had anything to do with the death of Charles Vallow, are you?
What I'm implying on this specific timeline, sir, was where Tylee's funds were going to come from and then what she spent them on. This is specifically to show on Tylee's spending habits, sir.
And I don't want to put an answer in your mouth to testify, but that wasn't really my question. My
No,
question.
because that's not the reason that I built this
Thank you.
timeline.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you ate on that one.
Oh, you sneak up behind me there. Is that what you mean?
So stupid. Like that wasn't the motivation after. Okay, so okay.
There was a discussion on one of your exhibits where you talk about Lori mentioning to Chad about receiving a $4,000 payment. Do you remember that?
I do.
What exhibit was that again?
That's noted on a couple. It was on the one that you just handed back.
Okay. And then on the other one, it was.
It would have been regarding JJ as well.
I'm just gonna say, both of you are kind of getting into a habit of talking over each other. Please try to avoid that.
And if I can have exhibit
Mr.
114.
Pryor, you just talked right over me when I was
What
talking.
the fuck are you keep talking? Shut up.
Please not do that. Thank you.
And if I could have exhibit 114, Judge. Thank you. Judge, if I can publish this.
You may.
Oops. This is an exercise here.
You can do your job and not be a total prick.
Okay.
How about that?
Hopefully you can read that about the 4,000 month in insurance from.
What's up, guys? We're struggling over here.
So on this particular chart, this was JJ's financial.
This would have been a timeline regarding JJ's or transaction regarding JJ.
Okay, so the financial transaction regarding JJ, again, you put on there that Chad Daybell and Lori meet, right?
I did.
And then a box right next to it, again, you put down that Charles Vallow dies.
Correct.
Okay. And then on 7/18, after Charles Vallow's death, it says something about Lori texting Chad about receiving $400 a month in Social Security, but nothing from the insurance company.
That is correct. It's 4,000, not 400.
4,000, I'm sorry. Thank you. And at this point, was there any other indication in your investigation that they ever talked prior to that time about any financial matters like Social Security or insurance?
Not that I can recall at this time, sir.
Okay. And this text was in the form of expressing her displeasure about the fact that this is what she discovered after Charles's death, right?
It could be said that way, sir.
Okay.
Don't put words in
And
his
then
mouth.
we go on to, well, before I go there, there was nothing to indicate that Chad Daybell had any financial interest in that Social Security or insurance at that point on 7/18 of 2019, correct?
Oh gosh.
I don't know of a response regarding that.
Okay. You didn't find anything that showed that Chad had any financial link to any of those accounts, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then Lori posts a dog for sale on 8/9 of 19, right?
Yes.
And then on 8/12, she names Colby Ryan the insurance beneficiary on her life policy.
Yes.
Okay.
Say
Now,
something.
at that point, at least we are aware that her and Chad are involved in a relationship of some kind, right?
I think that's fair to say.
And yet at that point, she names as a beneficiary on her life insurance policy and Colby Ryan's her son, right?
Yes.
With the deceased Joseph Ryan.
I believe so.
Okay, so she puts an insurance policy on her name, not Chad's. at
That's
that
not
point.
my
Or
dad,
puts it on
bro.
Colby's name,
Nope.
not Chad's for 100% of the beneficiary, right?
Nope.
Correct.
That's not my father. My dad is before him. That's Tylee's dad.
And then she also previously, we talked towards the end of your testimony about the fact that she made numerous payments to Colby Ryan, right?
Correct.
And that was after, well after the last known sign of life of JJ Vallow, correct?
Yes.
So she was giving, at least in some indication, money to Colby Ryan. And on 8/12 of 19, after Charles Vallow dies, she puts Colby Ryan on her insurance policy. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, then on 8/14, she applies for an apartment in Rexburg. And at that point, she's receiving a bit of money, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then she moves to Rexburg on 9/1.
Get to the point.
Task.
What is your point?
Bear with me, please.
No, thank you.
I'm a lawyer, not a audiovisual person.
There's no audio.
But in any event, then we move on. She moves to Rexburg. And at this point, there's still no financial link between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, correct?
She's paying for his
And then-
flights.
And on 9/8/19, when there's a last known sign of regarding Tylee Ryan, on 9/8 of 19, there's still no financial link between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow of any kind. Is that correct?
Not a lot.
There are no
That's a damn
accounts
lie.
with them.
There's no
associated
link.
funds at this time.
There's
And then
no
the pros-
I'm on the same account, but there's a lot of payments for each other.
Prosecutor's assertion that the last known sign of life with JJ Vallow was on 9/22/19. Again, there were no accounts that were mingled at that point, correct?
Correct.
And there was nothing financially showing them linked in any way, correct?
Correct.
And then after the fact that when they got married, again, there was no joint accounts to your knowledge, correct?
Correct.
Hurry up. You don't even have a point. I don't know if I can sit through this one. Are we really just going to go back and just highlight one time?
Now, on one of
before
your
they-
exhibits, you talked something about a
got married?
south-southwest wind. You remember
did.
that?
I do.
Okay. And that was part of the email searching that you did as a result of, was that part of Tylee's?
Yes, that would have been on Tylee, sir.
Okay. And as far as financial, I found that a little unusual that you would include a Google search for the wind direction on Tylee's financial.
Sure.
Okay. That's not something of the ordinary, right?
Not necessarily, sir.
Okay. But you didn't include the emails after that talked about Mr. Daybell burning some tree lip.
I didn't find that, sir.
Objection, that's a fact, not in evidence.
Sustained. There wasn't any mention of that.
Did you have any occasion to review the emails and when you prepared all of this timeline?
I was told about it, yes.
Okay.
That one I was told about.
Okay. And that's not a fact of significance. The fact that there was the fact that you checked the wind isn't really relevant to Tylee's financial in terms of how the money was spent, right?
Not excuse me, it's not regarding the financial transactions, no.
Okay. So when we're talking about Tylee's financial, the wind direction really isn't relevant to that issue, correct?
Not to that, no.
Okay. And then, so why wouldn't you mention the fact that Mr. Daybell, if the wind issue wasn't relevant to that, why wouldn't you mention the fact that Mr. Daybell sent a text message to his wife saying that he was burning limbs the next morning, the following morning?
Because I didn't discover that, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Now, as part of this timeline, you talked about the financial situation of
Oh, Pryor is on 1.2. I'll prove
JJ,
it.
Lori,
Look at this.
Tylee. And in none of these timelines, I see a situation or a box where it talks about Lori sort of being out of the picture for a time during these
He's
range
sped
of
up.
events. Were you aware that Lori Vallow had temporarily relocated by herself to Hawaii around February 1st of 2019?
There are transactions that support that. She was coming and going from Arizona to Hawaii, yes.
Well, coming and going, or was she staying in Hawaii for 2
I couldn't
months?
prove that she relocated.
Okay. But you can show that she was in Hawaii at least on around the 1st of February, correct?
Yes, and so was Tylee.
And from the whole time?
Both of them came and went.
And in 2019, also till about the end of March. Would that be consistent with what you found as well?
I would say there's transactions that support that.
Okay. Okay. And then in addition, during that time, did you have any indication of any transactions relating to JJ as to where he was during that time?
I'd have to review. I can't say right now.
Would it surprise you to learn that at about the same time frame of February 1st till the end of March that JJ Vallow was predominantly with Charles Vallow?
He was his father, so it wouldn't surprise me, no.
Okay. Okay.
Would it surprise
Would
you?
that have any impact? Would you be able to determine whether that being separated and the receiver of those benefits being in another part of the country and the child being with the father when the parties are separated, would that cause any financial troubles for Ms. Vallow?
What benefits are you speaking of, sir?
That's Social Security?
Tylee was the only one receiving Social Security at that time.
On February 1st of 2019?
Correct. Tylee was the only receiving it.
Oh, I'm sorry. There were other benefits that as a result of the death of Joseph. No, I'm sorry. You're right. That's correct. I stand corrected. Excuse me.
Yep. Backtrack.
Now, we talked a little bit on Exhibit 116, or you did, about a life insurance situation with Tammy Daybell, correct?
I did.
Okay, and on 116, you talked about the map. I think it was Map Life is what you talked about, right?
There were two. There was Life Map and Primerica.
Okay. Do you have a recollection of when the initial life insurance policy with Tammy Daybell was put into place?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Were you aware that that policy was placed, one of the $300,000 policy was put in place back in approximately 2002?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, but you don't have a recollection of that,
Not off the top of my head right now.
and you don't remember that fact, doesn't jar any memory of that fact, correct?
Not right now, no.
But it wouldn't surprise you, but that's the case, correct?
No, she did have life insurance, correct.
Prior to,
Prior to.
right. And then the amount of life insurance, other than the life insurance from back in 2002 that she had, what about the life map? What are we talking about there?
You're talking specifically to
Specifically,
the
yes.
increase on 9/8?
Okay, so initially she had a base because of the employment at the part-time employment, I guess, as a librarian,
Mhm.
right?
Correct.
I think that's what it was. So when you start the employment, you get an initial base of about 50,000, right?
That's what it was in the beginning.
Okay, so the insurance was at 50,000, and then on 9/8 of 2019, Tammy increased that to what?
To 130.
Okay, so the increase went up 80,000.
Correct.
So initially, before Tammy started
What's up, guys?
employment with the school, her insurance was 300,000,
There was 300,000 before, and then before she started school.
and that was from some time ago, correct?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Then she started at the school, and she had to have worked there for about a year before she was eligible to increase the insurance, correct?
It was a year or two. Yes.
A year or two.
Mhm.
And
I don't know what it was per the rule, but I know it's at least a year, maybe more.
You have to put a probationary period in. You don't automatically get that insurance, right?
Correct.
And that's a financial decision made by the school district, and I would anticipate, right?
That's, yeah, above me.
So then after a year, she can apply for an increase in that insurance from the total of 350 and add an additional $80,000 onto that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they elected to do that, correct?
They did.
Okay. And we don't know who elected to increase that insurance, correct? You weren't part of the family at that
I
point.
wasn't
right?
there.
Okay.
Part of the family.
And what I find interesting is that typically the school year would start the beginning of September for most school districts.
Most.
Yeah. And that's usually the time when the school districts say, this is your opportunity to elect whether you want to increase your insurance or not increase your insurance, correct?
Yes.
So it's not inconsistent that during the school year, just before the start of the school year, as a librarian or a teacher in that school district, the insurance is elected to go up after she served her 1-year probationary period, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know what the point of any of this is.
Now, you talked about on exhibit 776 and 774. You talked about Spring Creek and the $10,000 investment.
Mhm.
And that was money that was put in to Spring Creek. And you know what Spring Creek is, right?
Chad's book company. Yes.
And it wasn't just Chad's book company, was it? It was also Tammy's.
It would have
correct?
been Tammy's too.
It was both of theirs. So we could say that it was Tammy's book company, right?
No.
Yes.
Well, we could say it was Chad's book company, right?
Chad and Tim.
Or what we should say is that it's Tammy and Chad's book company, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then addition, there was some money that was $8,000 payments to each of the children, correct?
The 3 older children. Yes.
Right. And then a short time after that, there was two vehicles, a minivan and then a black Dodge Dakota that Chad gave to each of the daughters as well, correct?
That actually took place prior. So the transfers took place on 6/9.
Right.
The vehicles were given to the daughters on 3/8.
Right. And subsequent to that, the vehicles were given to the daughters. So now you were aware that, well, we'll move on from that.
Yeah, you didn't want that.
Lastly, what I want to talk to you about is the malachite rings.
Hmm.
Okay. You made a comment that they were returned. I mean, it was canceled.
Though that transaction, that one specifically was canceled. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you look into the size of the wedding rings and that it showed it up on the screen, the size of the wedding rings?
Well, it said 8 millimeters, but that's the width, not the size.
Okay. Okay. And thank you for clarifying that because that was one of my questions. Thank you. Were you aware that shortly after August 15th of 2009, Alex Cox had been proposing marriage to Zuluma Pastenes?
2009? What the fuck are you talking about?
The date of
Say
that.
it's facts, not in the record.
I didn't ask him whether it was facts. I asked him whether he was aware, Judge.
Overruled.
Okay. Were you aware that shortly after that time, Alex Cox had proposed marriage to Zuluma Pastenes?
I know Alex and Zulema got married. I don't know when the proposal took place.
Okay. And then were you aware that also at the same time, Melanie Boudreau was contemplating the same thing, a marriage, shortly after that time as well? Were you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Okay. But you are aware that there's no indication through emails, text message, or otherwise that Chad Daybell was intending to marry Lori Vallow at that point. Is that right?
They got married.
In August. The wedding, no. There was nothing to implicate a wedding in August that I knew of.
Or even a proposal for marriage at that point, correct?
Not that I can verify.
Judge, that's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
All right. Mr. Wood, redirect.
That was rough. Don't come back up. Go sit down. I want you two whisper in each other's ears.
Mr. Douglas, we were just talking about rings. Have you ever seen pictures of Chad and Lori's wedding?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of rings are they wearing?
They're malachite rings.
Thank you. It's not that hard.
Defense counsel asked you about why you put on the search for the south-southwest wind.
Mhm.
Earlier, you testified that as a forensic accountant, you look into factors outside just of the finances in a case. Is that correct?
Yes,
And when you came onto this case, it was a missing children case. Is that correct?
that is correct.
And so, and defense counsel asked you about a text message Chad sent about burning limbs.
Correct.
And do you know what date that message was sent?
I believe that took place the day after on 9/9.
And what was, pursuant to your investigation, what was the last known sighting of Tyler Ryan?
The last no sighting is 9/8.
Defense counsel asked you about the text message between Lori and Chad about $4,000 in Social Security.
Correct.
So Mr. Daybell was aware that Lori was receiving at least 4,000 at that point in Social
At least
Security.
4,000.
You testified that there's no joint account of Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow.
Correct.
Did they live together at any point?
Yes.
Was that in Hawaii?
In Hawaii, yes.
And just finally, defense counsel asked you about, I'm going to call them burner phones that Mr. Daybell purchased. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
And he asked you if that would be a good way to hide an affair.
That is correct.
Well, would that be a good way to hide a crime?
Yes, in my experience.
So in your experience as a forensic accountant, do you see people engaged in criminal activity purchasing burner phones often?
Yes.
And so if someone was having an affair and then the mistress's husband dies, and then your wife dies, and you marry that woman 10 days later,
Get them.
and then the next year 2 dead children are found
Done.
on your property, are those the type of events that might lead someone to buy multiple burner phones?
It could.
No other questions, Your Honor.
Snapped off. Done. Well, that's the point. How
You
stupid do
can
you?
Cross on that limited scope, Mr. Pryor.
So stupid. No,
At
don't
podium,
get back
please.
up. Damn it. That's how simple. You don't even have to argue. It's just that simple.
And actually, 2 questions. The financial transactions and issues related to finances with Higley, Ryan, and JJ started about or around when?
What?
The financial transactions that I was tracking with Tylee, we got data into 2018, but my charts are indicative of January of 2019.
Okay. And then the marriage and the time they lived together in Hawaii, Chad and Lori, started when?
So they got married November 5th of 2019
Okay. And they lived in Hawaii together until when?
until she was arrested, I believe,
In January.
in January,
So 2 months.
2 months.
And the financial transactions prior to that went back at least a year and a half.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Nothing else, Judge. Thank you.
All right, that'll conclude the testimony then of Mr.
Goodbye.
Douglas. Is he?
Goodbye. I'm done. Here we go. Anybody need a break or anything of that nature? We are now going to listen to mine. I don't know, man. This one, you thought I went off last time, and you thought I went off during his. Mine's going to be a lot more frustrating because I will explain to you guys how leading this is and how you don't get to talk. You have to answer in a very specific way because you are given a very specific outline and you basically get a yes or no answer. And so I don't even remember this, to be honest with you. So let's just get into it.
Thank you.
This one's a lot
All right, now that the
shorter.
witness has been sworn, I'll just inquire, Mr. Ryan, these trial proceedings have been streamed live on the court's YouTube channel and open for public access. Have you reviewed or watched any of this testimony that's taken place?
No.
Oh, and actually,
I was just going to note, Your Honor, Mr. Ryan is not subject to the exclusionary rule.
I really
I
have
appreciate
to.
you pointing that out.
I don't think they
Mr.
understand. Like, okay, you're allowed to watch these. I couldn't hear this stuff. Like, I never thought I'd ever listen to it. So no, I wouldn't listen to it. You can pay me to listen to it. You can force me to listen to it.
Mr. Wood, that's correct. So as a statutorily definite, with the definition here, he would not be subject to that. So disregard my inquiry. Mr. Wood, you can go ahead and proceed.
And before I do, Your Honor, may I be handed States Exhibits 6 and
Look,
4?
there's Kelsey right there.
Yes.
I was staring at her the whole time because it's a lot. I muttered a lot under my breath as well. And at one point, Kelsey said I made the judge laugh because Pryor asked me something and I blunt as hell underneath my breath, turned my head towards the judge and went, stupid fucking question. Because I was pissed. So I think the judge heard that and smiled, but I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't know. I don't know if I ever watched this.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ryan.
Afternoon.
Can you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes. Colby Ryan, Ryan.
Yeah, this is weird.
Mr. Ryan, who is your mother?
Lori Vallow.
How many siblings do you have?
4.
Okay, can you tell us their names?
Cole, Zach, Tylee, and JJ.
And Cole and Zach, what are what is your specific relationship or relation to them?
They're my stepbrothers.
Who was their father?
Charles Vallow.
Your Honor, may I publish?
Yes, that's an admitted exhibit, correct?
Yes, this is State's Exhibit 6.
Okay,
This,
yes,
this
you
is the
may.
moment I've told you guys about. This right here ended me. I just can't put it into context. Like when you're sitting there and then they show you a picture and here's a picture of Tylee and one of the murderers is right there. I can put my eyes on him and the screen at the same time. Like I can glance and see the killer. The moment is so overwhelming. I cannot tell you how overwhelming that moment is.
Mr. Ryan, do you recognize that individual?
Yes.
Who is that?
I can feel that in my chest, bro.
That's my sister Tylee.
What is your specific relation to Tylee?
She's my half sister on my mom's side.
So you share a mother.
Mhm.
Your Honor, may I publish State's Exhibit 4?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan, do you recognize that individual?
That's our wedding picture. Oh my gosh. He's setting up my wedding.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you need a drink of water, I don't know if there's tissues up there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Who is that?
That is my brother JJ.
And what is your specific relation to JJ?
He is my adopted brother.
Do you recall when JJ was adopted?
Yes.
Do you know who Charles Vallow was?
Yes.
Who was he?
He was my stepfather.
And when you say stepfather, how was he your stepfather?
He married my mom.
How long was he married to your mom?
Over 10 years.
All right. And what was your relationship like with Mr. Vallow?
He was my dad. It was good.
So, is it fair to say you were close with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall when Mr. Vallow passed away?
Yes.
Or Charles Vallow? If I say Charles, we understand who we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Do you recall when he passed away?
Yes.
When was that?
July 11th, 2019.
How did you hear about him passing away?
My mom called me and told me that he had had a heart attack
And do you remember about what time of day that was?
between like 1 and 3 o'clock, something in that afternoon.
In the afternoon?
Mhm.
Did you have any reason to not believe her that that's how he passed away?
No.
Yeah, because who would lie about that? Who would call you out of like I probably called that morning, maybe once, maybe twice, I don't know. And then when you get a call back, you're told Charles passed away because he had a heart attack in the kitchen. Why would I think that she was lying? Who would lie about that?
Did you have any occasion to go over and to your mother's house that day?
Yes.
And where was that house located?
In Gilbert, Arizona.
Do you know approximately what time you went over?
And I got off at work at 7, so around 7:30, 7:45.
What happened? What was the first thing you saw when you got there?
Tylee opened the door and hugged me, and she was crying. And then I saw my uncle Alex sitting on the couch with a bandage around his head. And then I saw my mom in the backyard, and that was it.
Did you go into the house?
Yes.
Did you see your brother JJ there?
No.
Did you speak with Alex Cox at all that night?
Yes.
How did that conversation go? What did he say to you?
Objection, hearsay.
Statement of a co-conspirator, Your Honor.
Shut up.
Overruled.
Thank you.
Tell us about the conversation with Alex Cox. Well, before we do that, what was your relation to Alex Cox?
He was my uncle.
And you testified you saw him with something white wrapped around his head.
Yes.
Did you speak to him at all that night?
I asked him what was on his head, and he said that Charles had hit him in the head with a bat and that he had shot him in self-defense.
When
And
I
is-
tell you that was, I don't think the word shock covers that. I walk in the house. I first of all felt like I forced my way there. Everybody, all three of them, well, I guess not Alex, but Tylee and Lori were both like, you don't need to come over. Everybody's okay. Everything's fine. And I'm like, I'm coming over because you called me and told me that my dad died in the kitchen. I don't know who was there. I don't know what happened. Like I said, and I hadn't even been to their house yet. This is my first time to their house ever. So I had to ask for the address. I pull up and I go in there after and Tylee falls into my stomach. So I walk in, and after I give Tylee a hug, I'm kind of like just looking around, figuring out what's going on. And as you walk in, there's two doors to the kitchen, basically, or like living room area on each side. And then there's mirrors. It's a room full of mirrors, like a dance room or something like that, where there's literally all four walls are mirrors. So I think I walked directly into the left side. And when I walk in, I saw Alex is watching Hercules on the couch. And noticeably, he's bald, by the way. And he has a huge white like bandage around his head. And I think I literally like tapped it. I was just kind of like, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? And I mean, without hesitation, he's like, oh, Charles hit me in the head with a bat, so I shot him twice in self-defense. And I to this moment, like I just get chills because it was the most cold, just emotionless way you could ever say something like that. Mind you, I thought he had a heart attack, and now I found out he was killed, not even in the same realm.
Is that how you learned how your stepdad died?
Yes.
Did he tell you anything else about that altercation?
No.
And did you ever have any other occasion to speak to him about that altercation?
No.
You said you saw your mother that night. And what was her demeanor?
Calm. Unrattled.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was crazy. So I was freaking out.
So
And
I went outside. She's outside in the back on the phone with somebody. I don't even know who she's talking to. And I sat by the pool with her. And when I tell you calmer than me right now. As calm as you could possibly be. And I'm going, because mind you, I just got delivered that news in a snap. So I walk outside and I'm going off. And I'd never really cussed at my mom. Like I've cussed, but not like that. And I sat there and I just, if you don't want to hear cussing, mute it, whatever. But I mean, it's clear as day. I said, what the fuck is going on right now? What the fuck are you doing? What happened to Charles? What is going on right now? You told me you had a heart. Like I didn't even know how to respond. I went off on her. It's been a hard day, Colby. It's been a really long day, Colby. Like just trying to act like it's my fault for being upset. And so I cannot explain to you how unbelievably unshaken she was. Did not care. No one seems to care. And I feel like I'm insane because my body dropped through my stomach and out. I don't know how to explain the feeling. If any of you have ever been in like a high level of shock, it's just like it's almost like a disassociative state. Like you just you're like looking through a lens through your eyes that's a tight lens. Your body's numb, your stomach, and then it's just everything just from the top through the bottom just dropped out of me. Like I just physically like something changed in my body that moment that I heard that. And it seemed that nobody cared. Nobody.
She seemed to not care.
And did you speak to your mother that night about how Charles had actually died?
Yes.
How did that conversation go?
She told me there was a fight and ran through it very quickly. And it was just in shock. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she just basically gave me a very quick version of the story.
Did she tell you why she had lied to you earlier?
No.
Do you remember if you asked her?
I don't remember.
I'm sure I did. Yeah, I did.
Did you
"Why
ever
did you tell me
speak
that?"
with?
I don't even remember what she said because I was in that much shock. Like, it's not like I couldn't even fathom what was going on, and she couldn't have cared less.
Lori Vallow about Charles Vallow's life insurance policy.
Yes.
When was, do you know if that happened multiple times?
I know she'd mentioned it growing up. She talked to us about what would happen if either one of them, something happened to them, what would happen. I think it was a few weeks later that she brought up that she was not going to receive any of the money from Charles.
Now let's just take a quick step back. When you say a few weeks later, what do you mean a few weeks later?
After Charles was murdered.
Thank you.
And she
Murdered.
told you then that she was not going to receive that money.
Yes.
From that conversation, was it your understanding that she had been expecting to receive that money?
Yes.
And okay. When Charles was alive, did you ever have occasion to speak with Lori Vallow about her and Charles's finances?
Yes.
Was that something that came up often?
Yes.
About how often, to the best of your recollection?
I would say maybe monthly,
Okay.
maybe once a month.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on me because Charles and Lori's money situation was very unique in a sense of they would get big sums of money at once and then it would be gone. And then it was just a regular conversation when I was a teenager, which put a lot of pressure on me to feel like, do I need to do something? Do you want me? Like, it felt like I was trying to shoulder that responsibility, even though it was unrealistic. Because it's like, well, why are you telling me we're running out of money, or what? Like, we're not gonna have money next week, or this and that. And it's like, a lot of pressure on me to feel like I needed to do something to change it. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, that's just a lot of pressure on somebody. Like, I don't tell my kids like financial stuff. It's just not for them to worry about. Obviously, they're very young, but even then, I would not want to put that burden on them.
And what was the general nature of those conversations?
From what I understood, Charles would work and then receive a bigger amount of money, and then it would kind of run out, and then they'd make another bigger amount, and then it would run out. So it's kind of the nature of the conversation would be that they were running low on money, something to that degree.
Okay. And was that a common theme then?
Mhm.
And just to be clear, the common theme that they were running out of money.
Yes.
Do you know who Tylee Ryan's father was?
Yes.
Who was that?
Joseph Ryan.
And I know that you and Joseph Ryan have the same last name.
Yes.
Was he your biological father?
No.
Okay. But did you take his last name?
Yes.
And do you know if Mr. Ryan is alive or deceased?
He's deceased.
And do you recall when that happened?
Summer of 2018, I think. Something around that time.
You don't remember the exact date?
No.
And were you aware if Tylee Ryan received Social Security benefits after Joe Ryan passed away?
Yes.
How did you learn that?
My mom told me that she would be receiving benefits.
And do you know if she received that monthly?
Yes.
Did you ever receive money from Tylee Ryan?
Yes.
How would that usually happen?
Venmo. She would Venmo me.
Would you ever ask her for some money?
I did, yes.
And about how often would that happen?
Maybe I could recall asking Tylee specifically a couple times. I would mostly ask my mom, and Tylee would be the middleman between those transactions. So I'd ask my mom, and she would tell Tylee to send the money.
Speaking of that, to your knowledge, did Lori Vallow ever send you money by sending it to Tylee, who would then Venmo it to you?
Yes.
Almost every
And
time.
how did you know that?
I would ask my mom, and then she said, okay, Tylee will send it over to you.
Do you recall the last time you saw Tylee Ryan?
Yes.
When was that?
It's August 30th.
And where was that?
It was outside of my work in the parking lot.
Is that in Arizona?
It was in Mesa, Arizona, outside of a gym.
And what was the nature of that visit?
My mom was very vague and said that they were leaving. She brought Tylee and JJ, and Tylee was crying and didn't say anything really. And I hugged JJ, and my mom said that they'd be back in a few weeks to visit.
Did she tell you where she was going?
No.
Do you recall if you asked?
I did ask initially.
But she wouldn't tell you?
No.
Did you receive or did you exchange text messages with Tylee Ryan on September 8th of 2019?
Yes.
What was the nature of that text exchange?
I think I had asked her to send money. And I think we had talked earlier that day a little bit. I didn't talk to her directly, but I had heard her voice and they said that they were on a trip. And I think I'd asked her for money. I think that's what it was.
Okay. And did she respond? Do you recall?
Yes.
What did she respond?
I don't remember what she said exactly. I remember her last text that she said was just, I love you and I love the girls.
And you said you heard her voice earlier that day. How did you hear her voice?
She was in the background of my conversation with my mom.
Right. And did your mom tell you where they were?
She said they're at Yellowstone Park.
Forgot about that phone call. Yeah, so Lori, I called Lori that morning, whatever time it was, and they were on at Yellowstone. I remember Kelsey and I started to
Did you ever have a conversation?
Map out where Yellowstone was and how long it would have taken them to get there from different places because we didn't know where they were.
With Lori Vallow after Charles's death about Tylee's Social Security money.
Yes.
What was the nature of that conversation?
So if I recall, she said that Tylee's money was not going to be everybody's money since she.
Judge, can I have some foundation as to what time, date, place this discussion took place?
So foundation objection, Mr. Wood?
Your Honor, I'll ask a few more questions.
Thank you.
Do you recall approximately when that conversation took place?
I don't.
Okay. Was it in person?
I don't recall. I think it was on the phone, maybe.
But it was after Charles's death.
Yes.
And just to be clear, you don't recall the exact date.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, she made a point.
What was the nature of that
She
conversation?
was going to be using Tylee's money for them as a family because they did not get their benefits, which is the whole point, is that she made it such a big deal that they were not going to get the insurance money, at least to me, in that way. But she just threw a fit. She threw a big fit because she wasn't going to get it.
About Tylee's money.
Judge, again, foundation.
Overruled.
You can answer the question.
Yeah. The initial question I had is, how are you going to take care of Tylee and JJ now? And I knew that she wasn't going to be receiving the money. So she said, we're going to supplement some Tylee's money for now. And I'm going to go work. That was what she said. And that was basically the nature of it. She said, we're going to start using Tylee's money to make it through. And I think that I don't know if they were receiving anything for JJ, but that was the nature of the conversation.
Okay. So you don't recall if she mentioned JJ receiving Social Security?
I don't remember, but I know about it. I just don't remember if she said that.
Okay. And do you recall if she said anything about her receiving Social Security benefits after Charles died?
No.
Oh, his question was
The last time
she didn't receive benefits. I guess I didn't answer that question, but she did mention she wasn't getting the insurance money.
You saw Tylee. Was that also the last time you saw JJ? And I think you said that was September or August 30th of 2019.
Yes.
I want to talk to you about November 27th, 2019. Were you contacted by the Gilbert police on November 27th of 2019?
Yes.
What was the purpose of that contact?
They came to our door looking for Tylee and I think JJ as well. I specifically remember them asking about Tylee first.
And what did you tell them?
I said I didn't know where they were.
Do you recall if you told them about the last time you had seen them?
I think so. I think so.
At that time, had you been concerned about Tylee?
Yes.
Why is that?
Our conversations were not normal. The way her dialect in her text, the way she spoke wasn't matching up. And I had texted her for her birthday and just things of that nature. Just wasn't getting calls, wasn't getting any contact in a normal way, and was always avoided. So I thought maybe she was upset with me, but I just didn't want to pressure her because I know she'd been through a lot.
And so you mentioned text messages. Was there a change in those messages?
Yes.
How so?
Just little things like if you capitalize the letter I in periods and emojis, just things like that. Things just didn't sound right, and it just felt off when I was receiving those texts.
Do you recall the last time you spoke with her on the phone?
The last time I directly spoke with Tylee was on the 30th with JJ on FaceTime.
Yep.
So the same day that I saw them.
So you FaceTimed with them later that day?
Yes.
And then you never spoke with her again on the phone? But going back to those text messages, did you keep receiving text messages throughout September of 2019?
Yes.
And are those the messages that you felt were different?
Yes.
Okay. Did you respond to those messages?
Yes.
After the beginning of September, did you continue to receive money from Tylee's Venmo?
I think so.
Do you recall how often?
I think maybe a couple more times. So maybe 2 or 3.
And did you receive any more money from Lori Vallow?
Yes.
And how would she send that?
So she started sending money after I had not heard from her since that day. She started sending money on Cash App. I think she made a separate account and just tried to send money, and it kept denying it because it was a new account. I think it was all through Cash App at that point at just random times.
Okay. And was it in response to you asking for money, or was it just sent? Do you recall?
It was just sent.
Yeah, she started out of nowhere. Hadn't heard from her. No idea where she is. And a Cash App, trying to go to my Cash App that had something weird. I don't remember what it was, but basically it just kept bouncing because it was like a new account, like a brand new account. And it was just like this random account trying to send money out of nowhere. This is after November 27th. So whatever Thanksgiving Day was the next day, right? So that next day, her phone dies. And then randomly throughout until December-ish, she just randomly had sent money out of nowhere.
After Charles Vallow died, did you ever speak with your mom about her getting married again?
Yes.
And do you remember when that conversation was?
Maybe a few weeks after
After he passed away?
he was gone. Yes.
What did she tell you about that?
It wasn't really a conversation. She just said a one-off thing like, I'll be married again soon. And I disregarded her and told her that I think that's crazy, or maybe she's talking about in the next life. It wasn't a real conversation. It was just a comment she made, and I completely dismissed what she said.
Yeah, I blew her off too because I'm like, you dumbass. Who the hell are you talking about? You're not getting married again? How many husbands do you need? That was my literal, she's like, I think, so we were like cleaning, and as we're cleaning, she kind of looks up and she's like, I'm going to be married again soon. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're lying. Like, I know you're kidding because, or you're talking about you're going to get married and when you go to heaven or something like that, like you're not serious. And I literally said it like that. Like, there's no way. And she just was like, okay. And then just kind of kept going. She was dead ass serious. How could I imagine that was the truth? How could I even, that's so outside of the realm of real. There's no way I could have believed her, but she did say it. It was right in front of my face.
So she didn't give you any details about who she was marrying?
No.
When she was getting married?
No.
Other than soon?
Just soon. Yeah.
Okay. Did your mom ever mention the name Chad Daybell to you?
I don't think so. No. I know she was becoming spiritual, if you want to call it that, for a long time, but she doesn't. I only knew Melanie. I didn't know anybody else that she was spending a ton of time with.
The only
in that.
person she ever brought up was Julie Rose Books. And that was because I was earlier. Man, when did she find out about Julie Rose? I want to say in Hawaii. So I'd heard that name. I knew that name. I'd heard that before. Never, I don't think I'd ever, because I recall things, like small details about stuff. So I probably would have remembered the name Chad Daybell.
And when you say Melanie, which Melanie?
Melanie Gibb.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you contact your mother after November 27th when you were contacted by the Gilbert police?
I immediately contacted her after they left.
And what did you say to her?
I asked her what is going on. Why are the cops asking me where Tylee and JJ are? And she said, I think she asked me, like, what did they ask? And I said, they asked for Tylee and JJ. And I said, what's going on? And she just proceeded to say, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about anything. And then she's like, that's it. Like, I got it.
At that point, did you know where your mother was?
No.
So she had never told you where she was?
No. We speculated based off of the Yellowstone thing, but I didn't have an idea where she actually was.
And so you didn't know she was in Rexburg, Idaho?
No.
And she never told you that?
No.
Did you try to contact your mother on Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Did she respond to you?
No.
Did you ever have contact after that with your mother before she was arrested?
I think she sent an email not too long, maybe within a couple of weeks. And the nature of the email was, everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about me. I've got Jesus on my side, blah, blah, blah. But basically just saying, it's okay. I've got things handled.
And that's the thing. This is where all my survivor guilt was, because I thought I fucked up by not like reading these signs. And now I'm a hyper vigilant version of myself. So it's hard to miss anything. But I really thought, like, okay, now going back, it's so easy to have the full picture and then go back and like go at yourself and tell yourself how stupid you were for missing stuff. That's kind of where you have to realize, like, you just in the moment reacting to what the information that you have in that moment is not the same as hindsight. And so it's really hard because, like that email alone was like, I'm going to take care of everything and everything. Like, like I guess I just extended, what's the word? I extended trust, I extended trust where it shouldn't have been extended, but I couldn't have ever fathomed or believed that she would do something. So I can give myself some grace in that way, because no matter what, I wouldn't have believed that they were like, that this is what happened.
Your Honor, I have no further questions at this time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wood. Cross-examination,
There we
Mr.
go.
Pryor.
Oh, I'm going to tell you everything I was thinking this whole time. I was pissed. This was so argumentative, and I was so angry about how led I was. I looked at Chad. You can see my face. I'm pretty 95% sure I gave him a lot of glances.
Can you tell me how old you are?
28.
I'm 29 now. That's crazy.
You mentioned a number of times that you were receiving money from Tylee and Lori. Is that right?
Mhm.
And 2018, 2019.
Yes.
Sound about right?
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Financially, is there a reason why they were sending you money?
We were just a young family and I just needed help and I was asking my mom for help.
You were a young family with children of your own?
Yes.
Okay. And just difficulty supporting yourself?
Yeah.
So your sister Tylee was helping out?
Sometimes, yeah.
And that was consistent with her character, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Very caring person.
Very.
Do you see how fast we're going? Because I was not messing with this dude. My answer is instantaneous to when he finishes.
Kind person.
Yep.
She was in many ways more of a mother figure to JJ than Lori was. Would you agree with that?
I think she was his big sister.
Right. Very caring of JJ. Very, very protective of JJ. Would you agree with that?
She loved him. Yeah.
And she understood him better than almost anybody, correct?
Sure.
He had tremendous challenges as a young autistic, 7-year-old autistic child, right?
Mhm.
And of all your siblings, you would probably say that Tylee was probably the kindest, the gentlest, and the most understanding of JJ. Would that be fair?
Sure.
Yeah, I said sure because it's a leading question. I don't get to answer your question. You just corner me as hard as you can and make me say a certain way, which I just find to be ridiculous. Obviously, this is court. This is not a normal conversation, but he's making me say it. That's why I said sure. Yes, Tylee was amazing with JJ. She was an amazing, loving sister, but I'm not going to paint a near narrative that Tylee was JJ's mom because I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. So I was angry because he was trying to force me to talk about her in a certain way, and I knew what he was doing. He's trying to make the jury think whatever. So that pissed me off because I knew what I was being led into.
Now, you mentioned that Lori called you to let you know that Charles had died.
Yes.
She didn't tell you that Alex gunned her down in the house, right?
No.
She lied to you.
Yes.
That it was a heart attack.
Yes.
So you're Lori's son, natural son, right?
Yes.
Stupid question, bro.
So Lori Vallow lied to her son the first time, saying that Charles died of a heart attack, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of lying in a lot of places.
Yeah, see right there, I lost it. There's a lot of lying because you're gonna sit here and try to act like Lori's the only liar. Your fucking client right there is a liar.
Lori lied a lot to you, right?
Other people too. Were. Yeah.
But Lori lied a lot to you.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
And then you mentioned the name Melanie Gibb.
Mhm.
Was Melanie Gibb in on this lying to you as well about covering things up?
I didn't speak to Melanie Gibb.
Okay. But Lori and Melanie were the best of friends, right?
You could say that.
And Lori met Melanie because Melanie was teaching classes about religion and about various
I
religious
don't fucking know when they met.
topics, and Lori gained an interest in that, and that's how that friendship started, correct?
I'm not exactly sure. She was at our Christmas party one time, and then she was there as her friend. So I didn't know what their exact connection was.
When was that Christmas party?
2018.
Okay. And the two of them were together, and it was abundantly clear that the two of them were very, very close friends, right?
Sure.
Okay.
He was pissing me off, bro.
At the time that your mother notified you, you were at work. Is that right?
Yes.
So did you get that message while you were actually working, or was it over a break, or how did that transpire?
So I was in the middle of my workday, and she called me, and then I went over there after work
And where were you working at that time?
at Anytime Fitness.
Okay. And so you took a break. Do you need to take a break?
No, you're good.
Okay. You took a break, and your mother called you or texted you and said
I just
there
told
was a
you
heart
what she
attack.
called.
Yes.
No mention of self-defense.
No.
No mention that Alex shot Charles in self-defense, right?
No.
She was clearly lying to her son, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fight that occurred between Charles and Alex, Tylee was there, and she was implicated in that, correct?
Yes.
And she was present for that fight and that entire altercation, from what you understand, correct?
Objection, states facts not in evidence.
I don't know.
Overruled.
Correct?
From what I understand, yes.
Okay.
She was at the house. See what I'm
Now,
saying?
you mentioned that your father isn't Joseph Ryan, correct?
No.
But are you aware that your mother in 2018 received a sizable life insurance policy from Joseph Ryan?
I am now, yes.
You are now, like right now?
I mean, I heard that later on, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're aware that financially, Lori Vallow had a significant amount of money as of middle or late of 2018, correct?
Yes.
Okay. During this time that there was discussion with Charles about financing, was it Charles Vallow who was the primary financer of the family's expenses?
Yes.
Your mother chose not to work.
She worked, I think, in the beginning, and then I think he just took over. I'm not sure. I was a child.
Okay, so when there was financial issues, it was your mother putting this all on Charles to provide for the family. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it right there.
And you
Look,
already
and it looks
previously-
like he smirked. I said it right there. Look. Hold on, I can't zoom. Watch this.
financial issues, it was your mother putting this all on Charles to
Watch me and then watch the judge. It looks like he smirks. I don't know. Kelsey said it.
provide for the family. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said something right there, and it
And you
looks
already
like he's smirking. because I said something to the effect of like stupid fucking question. Like it was such a dumb question because like in my mind when he asked that, I thought to myself, well, if I am a husband and I take over the finances, then yeah, the financial burden would be me as the provider. So it's just a stupid question to make it seem like Lori forced Charles to figure out all the finances. I don't know their dynamic, but from what I understood, that was an agreed upon thing. It wasn't a force. I was stupid, but I said it, and then it looks like the judge smiled. I don't
Obviously
know.
mentioned that you communicate with Tylee at least like once a month. Is that fair, or was it more frequently than that?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
You communicated with Tylee at least once a month. Was that fair?
Growing up or?
Well,
What do you
in the
mean?
last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
In
Okay.
the last
And
couple
the
of
manner
years,
that you
she's been gone because it's 2024 when I did this.
communicate was by text message.
Primarily.
Okay. And how often would you communicate with JJ?
I mean, it really depends. Tylee and I would see them more often, so I didn't have much time for them not being around.
Okay.
So before that, it wasn't once a month. It was a lot more frequent. They
Right.
lived in the same place and I would go see them.
Okay. And when you communicated with Tylee, or excuse me, when you communicated with JJ, it was always Tylee there, right? Usually?
Yeah.
Not Lori.
She would be there too.
Okay.
See
Now
what
you
I'm
mentioned that you saw
What?
Tylee on August 30th in Mesa, Arizona. That was the last time
They
you saw
lived
them.
in
Is
the
that
same damn house. You're thinking that Lori was out and about and Tylee was home with JJ 24/7. That's not true.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And you had mentioned that Tylee was obviously upset.
Yes.
Did you have any prior information that Tylee just did not want to go to Idaho?
No, because I didn't know she was going to Idaho.
Okay. So she was obviously upset about something.
Yeah.
And it was the day that they were packing up to leave to go to Idaho. Is that right?
Yes.
And prior to that time, there was no indication that Tylee was upset about anything else. Is that right?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
What do you want me to say to that?
Do you remember that? And from August 30th, you then had a FaceTime call with both Tylee and JJ later that afternoon, later that evening.
Mhm.
Do you know about what time that was?
Probably when I got home, so anywhere between 7 to 8 p.m.
Okay. And you don't know where they were at that point, though, right?
They were back at the house.
In Gilbert?
Yes.
Okay. They hadn't left, but they were preparing to leave.
They were leaving in the morning, from what I
Was-
understood.
Was Tylee still upset about the fact that she was leaving for Idaho?
Not on the phone call, no.
Okay.
How do I answer that question?
Now on the back in late November, you had then had an occasion to talk with your mother. Is that right? After the Gilbert police spoke with you?
Yes.
And again, your mother lied to you again.
Yes.
Was Melanie Gibb there
Where?
on the phone? Any indication that Melanie Gibb was there listening in on the phone call?
No.
You don't know whether she was or not, or you just don't know?
I have no idea if she was there.
Okay.
How would I know if Melanie Gibb was sitting there with not saying a word? I don't know who the fuck's in the room. It could have been a whole circus of people in there. How would I know that? Unless they explicitly said that they're on the phone.
Now your mother's a strong personality, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
She's not someone that people can tell her what to do. Would you agree with that?
No.
Not necessarily.
Okay. So you think she could be influenced very easily, right?
That's a big gap between not influential and influential.
He's laughed
Okay,
again.
but
He laughed again right here. Hold on.
Is that?
Hold on.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Watch his
So you
face.
think she could be influenced very easily, right?
That's a big gap between not influential and influential.
Okay.
You're not going to get me to say is the way you want. How can you say she's influenced so easily when usually people followed her, but then you just like, you just say I'm saying like it's infuriating. You can't have you're just led into saying a very specific thing, and it is not easy to do because no, you can't just throw out a blanket statement and say, well, Lori was very influential, right?
But you would agree that your mother is one to speak her opinion when she has an opinion about a subject, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Did you have an occasion to ever interact or observe the way your mother talks to her friends, let's say Melanie Gibb, how she interacts with someone like Melanie Gibb?
Man, we talked about Melanie Gibb a lot, huh? I don't even remember that.
Yes.
And that sort of interaction between them, your mother was a wallflower, or did she tend to speak her opinion when she spoke with her good friend Melanie Gibb?
Can you define wildflower?
Wallflower, someone very passive, who wouldn't argue, someone who would just accept the way things are.
She did not like confrontation.
Okay.
She avoided it. So take that for what it is. I don't know.
Okay. So if
Take that for what it is. I don't know. I was not having it.
She did not like confrontation.
okay.
She avoided it. So take that for what it is. I don't know.
Okay. So if getting
I did not know I said that. That sounded so crazy rude.
in a discussion with Melanie Gibb, she would avoid confrontation. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. Did she ever tell you in late November, after the police called you, that JJ and Tylee were with Melanie Gibb?
We really, really hit on Melanie Gibb, huh?
You know, Judge, I think that's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pryor.
Thank you. Get out of here.
Can we redirect?
I'm cramping up
Just briefly.
in the
ahead.
abs. I've never been put in a position like that where you have to say things a very, very, very specific way. I don't do. Who does that? You're not going to back me into a corner.
You were just asked about kind of your mother's personality.
Mhm.
Whether she was a
Thank you, guys.
wallflower.
I do really appreciate you. And I want you to know I never take for granted the love and the prayers and the support that you guys have given us for all of these years. And I never want that to be missed here. And thank you. Because I know in this time like this, that really helped me to know that I just had so much love and support before we even really had a full on community yet. You guys were still there for me in that way. So thank you for that.
And you said that you believed your mom had a strong personality. But that she,
I'm going to object. I don't recall that testimony.
That's exactly what you said.
Overruled.
but you said you thought your mom could be influenced.
Yes.
Earlier, you testified that your mom had become more religious over the years. And you were asked if she could be influenced.
Yes.
Do you believe your mother was influenced by Chad Daybell?
Objection, Judge.
Grounds?
It's speculation. There's no foundation to base what he's basing this on.
It's a question of belief. It's overruled.
100%. I think she could be influenced. Yes.
Okay, and my question was, do you believe she was influenced by Chad Daybell?
Judge, again, I'm going to object. Foundation, speculation.
Overruled.
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Get it, Rob. You get yours.
All right, on that very last point, if you'd like, Mr. Pryor, recross. If not, we'll be concluded with the witness.
Oh gosh.
And just limited to
I
that
don't remember
last
him
line of
coming up a
questioning you
second
objected
time.
on. I'll allow recross.
I don't remember him coming up.
Your
with
Honor, I
something.
would just note, I think that question was directly in line with his cross.
Understood. I'll allow the recross.
Judge, am I permitted to go forward?
Yes, but only on that last question or two.
Now, in August of 2018, or August of 2019, you had never heard of Chad Daybell, is that right?
Correct.
And you testified previously that your mother said, and please let me get to the quote. And it was a few weeks after Charles passed away, and Charles passed away in July of 2019, right? You said, I will be married again soon, but she didn't specify who she was talking about, right?
Correct.
And at that point in July of 2019, you didn't know very much about Chad Daybell either, did you?
No.
Had never even heard the name, right?
No.
And then in August, almost September of 2019, correct?
Yeah.
You had never heard of Chad Daybell. You didn't even know where or why they were going to Idaho, did you?
No.
And then we fast forward to November, 2 months later, within 60 days, you have a conversation with your mother about where's JJ, correct? And at that point, you'd never heard or mentioned the name Chad Daybell. Is that right?
Correct.
And then subsequent to that, you mentioned the fact that your mother, there was a call and a communication where your mother had been locked up. And at that point, you had a confrontation call with her. And at that point, you never heard about Chad Daybell, correct?
No, in December of 2019, there was a release, and that's how we found out that she was married
Okay,
and that the kids were missing, and that's how we found out.
okay. So after December of 2019, after everything started processing, that's when you drew this conclusion that Chad Daybell must be influencing her. It wasn't anything up until December of 2019. Is that fair?
I mean, they ran away together.
So I understand that. But
Yeah.
prior to December of 2019, to your knowledge, Chad Daybell wasn't even in the picture. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, I have nothing else, Judge. Thank you.
That meant nothing. That means nothing. That did nothing for you.
All right. All right, that'll conclude the testimony then of this witness. Is the witness going to be recalled at any point, Mr. Wood?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes.
Is he gonna skip? Pretty sure I looked at Chad somewhere around right there, staring. Wonder why they didn't skip this. He's looking, watch. If you see him dart his eyes, it's because I looked at him. If his eyes avert away from me, yeah, he does not want eye contact. Freaking little red tie bitch.
All right, that'll conclude the testimony of Mr. Ryan then. Mr. Ryan, you potentially may be recalled at some point in this case. If so, you'll be contacted either by the state or the defense. Otherwise, you are permitted to step down, and that concludes your testimony for today. All right, now that the witness has been sworn, let me just inquire, Mr. Warwick, have you viewed or
Whoa. Slow down, Warwick. You're going to be for tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for walking through that. This stuff is all, I don't want to use the word new, but to me, a lot of this is new. And yeah, it's a lot of information to process. We'll be back at it tomorrow with David Warwick. I do want to hear more of his testimony. I don't remember a lot of his testimony from Lori's. So we're rocking through that, and we'll get to this. We have a few more to get to. We have Zulema coming up. Apparently, Chad's kids also testified in this trial, so we have a lot to get through in the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow, if David's goes, it's about an hour 30. We might be able to do 2 like we did today. Thank you guys. Love you. And I will put up a thumbnail and everything for you for tomorrow. I would go for the same time, so around 12:30. Love you guys. Appreciate you. See you soon. And seriously, you guys, thank you for just the love and support. It means a lot to me. So thank you.